perfect, Jeb. I'm perfect, Jeb.
Nah.
Now, the point is perspective. If Sky isn't able to lead this, that means it's either me or Jeb that's going to do this.
It's going to be
Do you
me.
have any idea
I
how bad
trust Zod just because you excluded him. I trust Zod. This one's for you, Zod. I believe you.
Zod could lead blind ants.
Blind ants. What?
Why?
I don't get what you just said, but you know, Watson, I trust you enough to know what you're saying, even though that's usually not true. But today, I don't know, I'm feeling generous. Hey, chat, we're live. Or is anyone on? We have one concurrent viewer. That might be me actually, because the stream is playing.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
Okay, now the stream is shared everywhere, so we're good to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Jeb, Jeb, do you like the Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yes, I do. They're
Good.
like the only thing I care about in the MCU now.
Surely the Eternals.
I would say I care about them, but I have no idea where it's going.
That's a good point. It seems like the MCU really doesn't care to continue the Eternals plotline. Why isn't this about the Amazing Last of Us trailer? SMH, take me on and all that. It's take on me, Colin. I didn't misread that because I'm drunk, right? That is, yeah, it is wrong. So
Yeah.
let's talk about that trailer. I really hate it. I don't know why it got to me so hard because I'm not like a huge Last of Us fan, but I really got really upset over that trailer. It feels like it's just like such a huge waste of potential. Personally, like, what's the point of making this like just the game but worse? The dialogue was so shit. Why? What's her name? Ellie. Ellie would never make that goddamn stupid joke about her being a clicker, or infected or whatever. Like, what's the point of that, right? And why is the delivery of your cargo so shit? It's also just like, it feels like dialogue that you'd hear. It feels like dialogue that you'd hear in like, someone described that to me on Twitter, and it was actually very accurate. It's like, it's dialogue that you hear from other characters, not Joe and Ellie. Like, oh, I'm not family, and it's like, yeah, you're cargo. Especially the way Joe says that, it just feels like so hollow. It's like there's no character personality behind that. You're just re-establishing their character motivations, which should be clear if you like watch the show getting to that point. Like, you could just have good dialogue and put it in the trailer. If it is trailer exclusive dialogue, then that's okay, I guess. Like Neb said, that would be better than if it was in the show. But I don't know. I really didn't like that trailer. I hope the show's better, but it looks like a fan film. It looks so like amateurish in terms of like the way it's shot and everything, and the sets. It just looks like so much like, oh, we want to make a zombie story, and we're not really gonna care about like the character side of it. Like, the trailer was so focused on the like plot elements of it, like, oh, it is a zombie apocalypse and everything, as opposed to being like about the characters, which is what the first game was about. Even the second game is character focused, despite being bad. Like, the thing that sells The Last of Us is the characters, especially Joel and Ellie and their dynamic. But the trailer just seems like, oh, we're just focusing on, you know, the bombastic thing. Like, the trailer was just like, even the music was so like, boom, you know, the like trailer music, as opposed to the very introspective and contemplative type of music that The Last of Us is known for, from McQuail. Which, by the way, Jeb, did you know that McQuail also composed both The Last of Us games, but he also composed Mr. Robot. So that's why the soundtrack is so good in all those. So I don't know why I singled you out, Jeb. We're all watching Mr. Robot, but I think you like Mr. Robot out of all of us the most, other than me. So I guess I've been compared to Sudden 10. So yeah, hey guys, we're
And
live.
that was Sky's recommendation corner.
Hey, Chad. Look, okay. I'm not very. This is like I'm halfway through my second drink. Let me explain. Okay, ECUM, not ECUM. Madvocate was like, hey, I recorded a Madville movies with what's his name, Shandy. So let's. Do you want to do something with me? I'm like, sure. I recommended him RRR, the Bollywood film, and I was like, hey, yeah, let's do a drinking game because Shandy did a drinking game with the Daredevil movie they watched, and I thought that would be a good idea. And we did that last night, but but the drinking game was a bit too harsh. So Madvik ended up like passing out like 2 hours into the film. Like he because he's afraid the recording would corrupt. So it's like, let me just stop the recording and I'm gonna lie down while it remuxes. And he fell asleep for an hour. And so after he woke up, I was like, let's just finish it tomorrow. And we did, and I was like, we could do it tonight. And he said, well, I got something tonight. I was like, well, we could do it before ECUM because I got it like 4 hours before it, which I did. And then we watched it, but I was like, oh, I'm gonna be drunk for ECUM, which is like, sure, it happened. It's the first time this has happened in 59 episodes. I think that's a pretty good ratio. 1 out of
Is it?
59. Jeb,
Is it the first time?
it is for me. It is. Well, Cinder's been drunk on a stream on my channel, not on ECUM. Well, as far as I know, maybe she has been drunk, and we just didn't notice because she never speaks. So that could have Zod could be drunk all the time for all we know. They never speak.
Of course, yeah. I'm very hammered. But
Zod just didn't do anything. It just got.
Zod has been drunk in 15 out of the 59 episodes. Even on the Flash episodes, they've been drunk. This is why every time you hear them speak, it's just them laughing. But anyway, this is why I'm drunk. We did a drinking game out of our RRR, and that's gonna be released as a Madville movie soon enough. I think in 2023 because he lost a few subs after he posted the Madville movies with Shandy because it wasn't Flash season 4. Which is pretty cringe, but so he doesn't want to post it before Flash season 4, which I think is fair. I understand it. So so I drank a bit. So anyway, Jeb, how are you doing?
I'm just bewildered by
Why?
you. But England have won a game.
Well, England played really well today.
Yeah,
I
yeah, we
was-
did.
Yeah.
I'm scared for France, but
If
then again,
if
they
you
surrender.
if you play Trent over Walker, you'd be way more creative. So it'll help a lot in terms of being clinical, which is good. Which is a big thing you mentioned today. So I think you should, because Walker's shit anyway. Like, and if you want more defensive, just play Trippier. Just don't play Walker. He's not good. He's not been good this World Cup. So yeah, play either of them.
I have a cat on me that's gonna get put down.
Me
Aren't you?
too. Except I don't have a cat. But other than that, this is the same situation right now. I need help. But anyway, we're here. No, wait. Recommendation corner. 10. What's your recommendation?
I've not been doing much, so I guess I've been playing through God of War lately since
Mhm.
the newest one just came out, and unfortunately I am poor, so I can't exactly up and buy a new game out of the blue. So I'm playing the 2018 one, and yeah, it's good. It somewhat lives up to what everyone was saying when it came out. That's like the best thing since sliced bread.
I think sliced bread is a better game, but that's just me.
Yeah, perhaps, but yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty fun. We'll say this: the score's fucking awesome because it's like fucking Ben McCreary, who's like a god.
That is true. I like him. He did Rings of Power and Ages of Shield, which are both very good in terms of score. And well, Agents of Shield is really good in terms of writing as well. Rings of Power is fun. I don't judge the writing of that show. Anyway, I'm interrupting you. Go on.
But yeah, I haven't really got much to say on it. It's just that, yeah, that's my recommendation. I've been playing through that for the past few-ish weeks, and yeah, it's good.
Fewish. I sure. Yeah, what's your recommendation? It can't be Sonic Frontiers. That was last time, I'm afraid.
Yeah, aside from Sonic Frontiers, I watched obviously the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, so I'm gonna have to
No, that doesn't count. We're
recommend.
gonna talk about it right after the recommendation corner. Be
So,
better.
but,
Do
so
better,
then it's got to.
Senator.
So
As
then it's got to be
fuck.
Sonic Frontiers, I'm afraid.
No, sure,
You
whatever.
can't say
Hang on,
Whatever,
no,
sure.
I'm not hearing objections from Zod or Tid who have recommended things 2 weeks in a row.
When does that
I was
when
watching.
has that ever happened?
Yeah,
I was
we've not
watching
done
Breaking
that.
Bad, and I was talking about the other seasons as it was going on. You want to talk about the same thing like weeks after weeks.
Oh,
Well, I
okay.
get no.
I'm
This
talking
make no
about
no
the
no no
different
no no no.
islands.
Shut the fuck up, Jeb. No, actually, Tin, it's the same thing as you because Jeb hadn't finished the game by then. Now he can talk about the
Yeah,
whole game. So it is the same thing as you.
shut the
You mentioning
yeah.
Breaking Bad. It is the same thing. So you're allowed to do it, Jeb, because Tin has done it before. Tin, blame yourself if you find that unfair. Okay, go on, Jeb.
This, this is
Yes.
madness.
So,
100%
I make the rules, and I'm too drunk to care. Good job.
so
Go on.
I managed to 100% Sonic Frontiers beginning of this week, and overall, I'm happy to say it is a resounding success for the franchise. It's the best 3D Sonic game in a very long time, in over a decade. So I'm happy to say that. And also, it seems to be the first time Sega has actually believed in 3D Sonic since the Dreamcast days, because they're doing an entire roadmap around it now, which I'm very excited for. The only major gripe I have with the game is the final boss, because it's not like a typical final boss in the sense that you use what you've learned so far and you use that to the best of your ability. Instead, you're basically doing a glorified mini game, one that you have done before, but no, I don't want to do a glorified mini game. I want to be supersonic, or what would be cool is playing as a Titan using some of the combat abilities. So I wasn't very happy with the final boss.
That's how I feel about the fighting Doc Hawk and Spider-Man PS4. It just feels like a glorified mini game. It is pretty cringe when
Yeah,
games do that. Like I feel like you should do something that's special, like unique. Like when you, even though like Red Dead 2 doesn't have like boss levels, like once you do the final mission, in the epilogue, that feels very unique and very personal. It feels different than the other missions from the game. It's supposed to feel because you're like going up the mountain to go find the character. I don't want to say who because spoilers. It's a very good mission. Zod, not Zod. Tin was what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I
Um,
know what I'm talking.
yeah, and it feels unique. Like it feels like you're building up to something. I don't like when it's just like in the Doc Hawk fight where it's just like, oh, you spam like quick time events, or you just keep repeating fighting him on the side of the building. It's just very it feels very lazy. But anyway, go on, Joe.
Like it feels like a fun mission is what the point is.
Yes.
but yeah, I didn't. I know this is going to sound like what, but I didn't actually get bored once throughout the game. And that's, I think, a big deal when it comes to open world games, because fatigue's a very easy thing
Did
to
you
kick in.
100% it? Or did you just finish
Yes,
the...
I
Oh,
did everything.
and
Literally
you weren't bored
everything.
while 100%ing it.
Never. It. I think it's because this is the advantage Sonic has, where he runs fast, so it feels exhilarating all the way through.
I kind of feel like that in Rift Apart, where a lot of the time where like when you're exploring the open world, it feels very dynamic, the movement, and so that's why I feel like it doesn't. When I got the platinum achievement, the platinum trophy, it didn't feel like I was like wasting time. I guess it felt
Yeah, I
fun.
mean, there was only one iffy trophy, and that was to do the Phantom Rush 50 times. but you could do an exploit to make that really quick and easy. And the only other time there was slog is when you're maxing out your stats to 99, because the Elder Coco, you have to do it individually one by one, but the Hermit Coco for your attack and defense, you could do it in one bulk.
Right.
So I don't understand why it was like that, but it was.
Mm.
The story is I'd say it's the best Sonic game story. This is the future for Sonic's writing. It's very embroiled in dynamic characters, in exploring like a gold mine in lore. We finally get some origins on things, and Sonic's at his best here. We had the discussion of Sonic being a paragon character, and it really shines through in this game. He's inspiring everyone, and yeah, I'm just really happy with it. I have it as a 8 or 9. It's the second best Sonic game for me. And it holds my favorite Sonic song of all time. And these sound like recency bias because, recently beaten it, but I've had a lot of time to let my thoughts stew, and I played the game for 40 hours. So I feel like I spend a lot of time thinking about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, how much I enjoy it. And I'm content in saying this has the best Sonic song, second best Sonic game, and so on. And I'm really excited to play the DLC and the extra story mode and such when that comes out.
Yeah, isn't there like a bunch of free extra stuff that's coming for the game? Like extra characters and everything? Something.
Yeah, so it's coming in batches. So you got jukebox. I'm not sure what that is. Photo mode. What's it called?
I feel it's weird
There's
that
a
photo mode is just included with the game, but at least it's for free.
yeah. I think it was a design constraint. I'm trying to find out what the others are called. There are playable characters come in, which seems to be Knuckles, Tails, Amy, and there's like a story expansion which is free.
That's
You
cool.
got birthdays. You got birthday celebrations. What's it called? It's like a new mode.
Speaking of birthdays, GTA celebrated like its 25th birthday, was that it? And Rockstar just
Yeah.
didn't do anything. It was pretty funny.
I got the image. It just needs to load.
Did they even like make it like a special thing where like you get extra RP during a weekend or something like that? Like they do that sometimes. Maybe they did that to celebrate the birthday. Let
I
me
don't
sh-
know.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't know
there's
because I've not played GTA for a while.
but
Rockstar.
yeah, there's 3 updates next year. Update 1 has jukebox, photo mode, new challenge modes. One of them looks like a boss rush, which is really cool because it has Supersonic there. Update 2, Sonic Birthday Open Zone Challenge, which seems to be like get to certain goals at certain times, and new Coco. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that impacts in gameplay. And then the update 3 is the playable characters and new story. So all 3, which is given Forces made you pay for Supersonic and a Sonic t-shirt. That's a huge deal, and Sega never do something like this for DLC with Sonic. The last time is Unleashed, arguably,
Mm-hmm.
and that was 2008. So we're at a very good time for 3D Sonic. We have a very bright future for once.
Cool. Are you done?
Um, yeah, just buy Sonic Frontiers. It's worth the money. Trust me. I played 40 hours. I was satisfied all the way through.
Cool.
I'm playing it right now.
You said you would be playing God of War. You lied. You lied to. No, you
Yeah,
said. Didn't you say that last week? I don't. Jab.
I'm
You.
starting it tomorrow.
Oh yeah, you did actually say that you do this week because we were starting later. I was like, you're gonna fall asleep soon after we start because it's Jeb is the reason we're starting so late. So blame him. So hello, Jeb. I mean that's fair to be fair because England were playing, so that's okay. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, but is it my turn or do we do Zod before me? I think it is my turn, right? I think we just do it in the normal order.
We skip Zod basically.
Oh yeah, we always
okay.
skip Zod. Yes, that's good to know.
We always skip him. He's very skippable.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm okay. Hold on. I had opened Letterboxd to see what I'd watched recently. I don't remember. Hold on. Let me open it again. Oh, so I've not watched many things recently because I've not had the time. I guess RRR is the thing I've watched recently. But other than that, in terms of things I recommend, I watched Birds of Prey, and I actually really liked it like a couple weeks back. I think that film is underrated. It's not great, but it is pretty good. Like I like the way it characterizes everyone, especially Huntress, and I like how not non heteronormative it is. It is very just like made a film by a woman. Like okay, this is made a film made by a woman
Jesus
for
Christ.
women, and it feels like it is just like exploring how these characters deal with their like emancipation in a way, and I really like it. It's not like phenomenal. There are a few weird things in terms of the plot, but it is a film that doesn't take itself very seriously, but it does work pretty well. Spectre gave a 4 star to the episode of Riverdetch Hero of How I Met Your Mother. Oh yeah, I did that. I've been rating the How I Met Your Mother episodes as I've been watching them to take notes for my video. But anyway, I really like Birds of Prey, and I think it's pretty underrated. I think it's actually pretty alright. Like it's not amazing, but I like basically every character, and it's just fun. And I think it is the type of thing that a lot of people didn't like because it wasn't like heteronormative or just I remember a lot of people, especially from the fandom menace, being like, "Hey, these characters are like dressed not good. Like they look ugly." And I remember being like, "Yeah, fuck you." There's a review on my channel that was like that. I unlisted it after I rewatched it. But after I rewatched it, I was like, no, actually the way they're dressed is pretty fine. Like they're not dressed to be ugly. They're just dressed in ways that feel comfortable. So I think a lot of the hate for that film came from the people that thought that it should be like Harley should be dressed like she was in Suicide Squad, and people were like, they made her ugly rather than they made her dress in a way that feels good for her. And they do characterize her in very subtle ways that I can't remember right now because I've drunk a little bit, but it is good and I recommend it. Plus Mary Elizabeth Winstead is really good in everything she's ever done. Well, she's hot, so super in everything. And she is probably getting a solo Huntress film with Phil, which is good because she's the best character. So that's what I say. And I like Mary Elizabeth Winstead. So thumbs up from me. That's what I watched last week. I think I would have gone with Rick and Morty this week if I wasn't drunk, because I just remembered that I like Rick and Morty. But that's fine. Zod, it's your turn.
Well, yeah,
Man,
fucking,
I'm
I didn't
very
do it last
dizzy.
week,
Dear
but,
Lord. Sorry, go
yeah,
ahead.
you sound it. But yeah, I didn't do it last week, but fuck it, I might as well do it.
Is he
Yeah.
gonna work Ragnarok?
It is indeed.
What's that
Uh,
game called?
Good for you. God of War Ragnarok.
For Ragnarok. Oh.
Yes, that's a film
Yeah.
by Taika Waititi. Titty.
Waititi.
He has titty in his name. What a fucking stupid name. No, he's good. He's a good director. I actually like him.
Waititi.
Look, Jojo Rabbit is like my favorite film. So anyway, Zod, you were talking.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
was.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, the main appeal of it is always going to be the story. Is very much centered around that, and it's just
What titty?
yeah. Uh, It's just
YTT.
yeah.
I don't think
Wait.
Taika Waititi directed the game, Jeb.
No, he might have. You never know.
But
Yeah,
I
you know.
don't. Let me check. God.
I'm glad you have to check this.
Ragnarok. For
You know.
Ragnarok.
This is how far
This
we've
is-
gone.
Director.
This is how
It
far
was-
for deep end we are.
It was Eric Williams. But it was.
See, Takai, what is he?
Did you know that? Did you know the director of the 2018 game wasn't the same as the Ragnarok game? Because the 2018 was directed by Cory Barlog, but
Barlog. Yeah, I knew
Ragnarok
that.
was directed by Eric Williams. Let's see what else Eric Williams has made. Zod, you keep going while I research this. He's not the former prime minister of Trinidad and Tobago. That's not what I'm not.
Oh,
Well, depending, Corey.
Go on, Zod.
Yeah, no. Like,
Oh, he's
actually,
not
that was
directed
creative.
anything other than
Oh.
than Ragnarok. He's worked on a few things, but he's not directed anything. He worked on as additional crew for God of War 2018 and every single God of War game, the Darksiders as well, and X-Men Mutant Academy 2 is apparently a game. Dear Lord, I can barely read. And he worked on a game in 2003 called Backyard Wrestling. Don't try this at home. So anyway, go on, Zod. I'm gonna mute myself
Okay.
so I don't interrupt you.
Fair enough.
Oh, Sonic Frontiers is so good.
Chad, I'm gonna mute you. Shoo.
No,
Yeah, so the whole creative director thing that made people concerned because no, it's someone completely different, and so people were worried that would make it bad, and that didn't happen. It's just an excellent story from start to finish. Basically, it's just so jam packed full of very clever, subtle details that it really does reward replaying it because just so many things that you just end up catching. It just works really well, and it's just completely inseparable from the previous game. Like the amount of you don't even realize it during the previous game, but there's a lot there that's setting a lot of groundwork for what happens in Ragnarok. It very definitely is the end of the Norse sort of saga, and they do just a brilliant job of tying everything up because they've said before that they were originally going to do a trilogy, but they cut it down because they didn't really want to spend another 10 years working on this saga, so they put it all into one game, and now it just feels like it's unimaginable how it could have been 3 games. Everything comes together in this one game so perfectly.
Well, sorry to cut you up, but I've heard that the last 4 hours of the game, so feel a bit rushed. I'm curious if you think that as well.
I honestly wouldn't know how you'd stretch that out because I can see why, people would want more from that particular section without saying what it is. But there is like I said, it's very story focused, and in terms of story, there's not really a lot you could do to stretch that out any more than it is without it feeling a bit too padded. But there are very important payoffs that it has to get to, and so it's difficult to say without saying specifics. But yeah, I feel like it works for what it is.
Good
But,
to know.
Tim said it with 2018, but the score in this game is I think it's probably some of Bear Crew's best work. It's just his use of motifs, and it's not just like the music sounds excellent, because it does, but it's also the way the music's used. Like it's always just so perfectly fitting for just any second you're hearing music. It's just flawless. It does a brilliant job. The game basically is, as a whole, just like a step up from the previous in almost every way, and it does feel a lot like they listened to some criticisms from the previous game, and they very much took that into account when making this one. Like much more enemy variety, boss encounters. There's more of them and more variety there. It's just, yeah, there's no way this game like wasn't like, especially in terms of story, it wasn't planned out, like, because it must have been. And especially since it was all made during COVID as well. It's just, I don't know how they did it. They did an excellent job. It's easily, I'd say it's the best game of the year, but you know.
Well, I mean, you're competing with is Elden Ring this year? That's a game.
Sonic Frontiers,
Yeah.
that's what you're competing with.
I mean that too, but like Elden Ring is also very popular, and as I've heard, very good. I've not played it like for longer than an hour, but
Sonic
Yeah.
Frontiers is winning in player choice and has done somehow, by the way. I'm not saying it deserves to.
Sonic fans are deranged, and they might be right, but that doesn't mean they're not deranged. So, are you done, Zod?
Yeah, just Elden Ring is not, it's not a flawless game. It's got some issues here and there, mainly in terms of like reused bosses and stuff like that.
That's good, you know. Now, onto the main topic. As you all watching know, we don't really care about the Marvel Cinematic Universe anymore. But Guardians of the Galaxy has always been like the exception to that. Like even more so than Eternals. We've always loved Guardians of the Galaxy like way more, especially Guardians 2, which is just like really good. Sky sing a song. If y'all behave, I'll sing a song at the end of the stream. How about that, Naira? But anyway, Guardians 2, we love that. And recently, not Guardians, James Gunn released Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, the holiday special, and he also released the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 trailer, not the film, unfortunately, just the trailer. And I wanted to go one by one, asking what your thoughts were on the trailer. So I'm not on the trailer, on the holiday special. I'm gonna just go from left to right, from 10 Chazad. 10, you start while I get a drink. I refill my drink. What did you think of the Guardians of the Galaxy Guardians of the Galaxy
Hang on.
holiday special? Hold on, Jeb. What were you gonna say?
I just processed that you went left to right and you went Tid to Zod, which is right, then skipping me,
What?
and then right again.
No, Jeb, it is left to right.
Yeah.
It's 10, then you, then me, then Zod. It's always been that.
On my screen, I'm on the far left, and then it's Zod, and then it's you, and then it's 10.
What? How?
I'll
It's
take a screenshot.
It's always this.
That doesn't make sense.
It's always
I'll take a
this
screenshot.
order because it is alphabetical. It's 10,
It's because
Jeb,
of the
Zod,
nicknames.
not Zod. I'm not Zod. Me, then Zod. It's always that.
It's because of the nicknames.
Oh, he has nicknames. The
'cause
only
he-
person
he
in this
has-
the only person in this GC that I have a nickname for is Neb, which is Nebula posting his L's online, which doesn't really change anymore. That's why, Jeb. Don't worry about it. From left to right, it's 10, Jeb, me, Zod. So it means I shoot people, which means giving me 2 people talking time to refill my drink. So just 10. What did you think of the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special featuring the Guardians of the Galaxy?
Well, it was very holiday specially.
Thanks,
was-
Ted. Thanks,
Wow.
Ted. You really got it.
But really, well, for one, it uses Fairy Tale of New York, which is like automatically 10 out of fucking 10. Like, even though it does miss for best bit.
You faggot.
You scumbag, you maggot, you cheap, lousy,
You
censored.
faggot. Cheap, lousy, you faggot. Why would you censor it as part of the lyrics, you know?
You know, because in the UK it's all censored and shit because apparently they don't like that word here, even though
Oh.
it's like part of our vocabulary and shit. But about the actual special, I got sidetracked by the word faggot. You know, only on this podcast. But yeah, the actual episode. Well, yeah, it was very sort of.
You'll get there.
There's not really much to really say about it. It's a Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special. Like, it's exactly what you expect it to be. It's dumb. It's stupid. It has a bunch of really obscure songs in it, which are kind of bangers, and it's about finding Kevin Bacon to have him as a Christmas present, and all that is kind of fun, and like. Well, the comedy is still like on point. Like I was full on laughing a lot of the times. Like generally, I'm just it's that part is still very on point. And it still has like a lot of heart, which you expect from James Gunn, because like the man knows how to make your feels hurt in the feels, and like this one has the added bonus of being all lovey at Christmas Eve because it's said Christmas, so it kind of goes without saying, but Sky, where the fuck are you?
It's meant to be about your force. What do you mean?
What's happening here, Tal?
She said to stall. I'm stalling basically. I'm just
You can pass on to Jeb whenever you've got nothing to say.
Yeah, well, I don't understand.
What? You don't need written permission.
Shut up. Jeb, you see it.
Okay. Right. So I saw the holiday special. I was watching it with Kara for context. So, you know, I saw it in November. I don't do Christmas. I don't care for Christmas. Call me the Grinch. Call me a fag. Whatever you want. Anyway, I loved it. I think it really feels like Guardians 2.5. Obviously you got the Christmas, you know, gimmicks and such. But it's establishing a lot of things I feel that are going to be essential for Guardians 3. So, for spoilers, unsurprisingly, the biggest thing is Mantis is now Peter's sister. And it's not a case of, oh, they're their brother and sister by their bond. No, their Ego's their dad. Which really recontextualizes Guardians 2 in the best way possible. I think it really adds so many layers to Mantis, but I also think this is going to be a key element for Guardians 3, and it's going to make it harder to watch. I actually think Quill could die because of this. I feel like that's what it sounds like it's setting up by making Mantis his sibling. I really feel this is very much an episode where it was essential to develop out Drax and Mantis. Because again, I think for Guardians 3, Mantis doesn't have much due to only being introduced recently. So to have this as like a transition works really well, so we understand more of her. And the concept of bringing Kevin Bacon because Quill inspired by this excellent that, and it's like immediately well. The main thing that was hilarious to me though was during the song about Christmas by the aliens. Groot's just there dancing, although he has no idea what's going on.
Groot's
That just
just
got to
happy
me.
to be involved.
Yeah, he was just there, just like, yeah, I'm accepting this. I also did love that Groot got, not Groot, where Quill got his plasters from, and it's a Christmas present. And I'm like, man, you've just added even more layers to Yondu, and reminded me he's dead.
And in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, we saw what not Wandu, Yondu teaching Quill how to use the blasters. Like there's one flashback there, and I think it's in the moment where he's learning he's using the powers against Ego, and if it adds a lot of weight to that, given that it was like a Christmas present, and that Yondu actually learned to like let go a little bit, and once we have the like, Ego may have been your father, but he wasn't your daddy. Oh, once we get to that, I think it has a lot of context to that, knowing that like Yondo actually cared a lot about Quill, and there we see that in the holiday special. I really like that personally.
I still find my favorite fit to be is figures it's quite it starts off as a funny, it pays off at the end with Peter finding the best present. I just think making Mantis his actual sister is such a smart move.
I agree.
There's so much potential in that, and that's why I'm more excited for Guardians 3 than I was before. All because of a holiday special.
Mm. I think it adds to the fact that Quill has been looking for family, and he has like actual family with him, like blood family. I think that adds a lot to him. Yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say beyond that, but that's my main point.
What else did
Are you done, Job?
what else did I love? Oh, visually it was stunning.
It did look good.
Especially when they actually got all the decorations set up. The lighting was phenomenal. I really like Kevin Bacon in this as well.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't feel like he was phoning anything in. It all felt good.
It
I
did
was very happy with
feel
it.
good. The way I describe it is just it is made to make you feel warm inside. And be like, oh, I love these characters, and I love Christmas, and Kevin Bacon's. I also like him. He's been in a few things I know. I think.
It's just when Guardians 3 happens, it's gonna be heartbreaking.
Yeah, someone's dying. Who knows who? Probably Drax and Rocket.
Are you excited?
I'm excited for the film. I'm not excited to lose two of my favorite characters in the MCU. No, but I mean, if it's done well, it'll break my heart. My heart in a good way. Unlike something like Endgame, I guess. I couldn't think of it. What is it? A thing that kills someone off that makes me pissed off. Supernatural, the finale. That's something that pisses me off. Because it kills off Dean early on, and it's stupid. So unlike the Supernatural finale, I'm excited to have my heart broken. My heart broken once again. Because James Gunn knows how to do that. I mean, just watch Peacemaker. That's just an entire season building up to you getting your heart broken and being like, man, that's insane.
Are you okay?
I don't think so. I think I've never drunk this much before.
How much have you drunk?
So I have a very big glass, in front of me, but it's gin and tonic, and it's mostly not gin. I just a little bit of gin, a lot of bit of tonic, and I'm on
You
my third glass right now.
you are a lightweight.
But it's, as I said, it's like it's not. I've never gotten very drunk before, so it makes sense to be a lightweight personally. Not personally, but yeah, personally. I like
Not
how Gunn
personally, but
has
yeah.
evolved his cinematography style after the Suicide Squad during the holiday special and trailer for Volume 3. I noticed a lot of camera moves and shots that reminded me of it. In a way, yeah. In Guardians 2, there's that shot where Gamora and Nebula are talking, and it does that, like dramatic zoom in into both of their faces, and it is very much just like, I don't. It's not like a distinct visual style, but it is very much just like a comic book type thing that I feel like James Gunn was developing, and that's how he got you the Suicide Squad, because that film is it looks like a comic book in a good way. I like the way it's shot. I think it's like one of the most well shot superhero films, and I really like his visual style. I think Guardians 2 and the Suicide Squad are the peak of his powers, because yeah, he has powers. Um, yeah, I really like his cinematography. Jeb, were you done? I don't know if I'm talking over you.
I was, I was a. There isn't much to say on that, but like the big moment. Cragling is really good, actually. I really
Kraglin
like
has
Cragling.
has always been good. I really love him in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and I think people should appreciate him more, because he's like, I saw someone on Twitter say like, oh, when Kraglin dies in Guardians 3, that's gonna be rough, because he's like the actual like heart of the Guardians films, and people just don't realize it. I'm like, you know what? You're right. Like, he has a small part in the first film, but in the second film, you can really tell how he's like the heart of this, of someone that just, wants to find somewhere to belong, and he found that with Yondu, but Yondu has been doing things that he doesn't appreciate, but then he understands why, because of his attachment to Peter, and all he wants is, the people that he likes to be okay, which doesn't happen because of the mutiny in Guardians 2. So he's actually a pretty interesting character. I really like him. Plus he's played by James Gunn's brother, which is cool. I'm glad we all agree with that. Yeah. So it's my turn. I liked the Guardians of the Galaxy not volume, the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. It was, I think, in terms of characterizing Mantis, is really good. She, especially making her Quill's brother, not brother, sister, especially making her Quill's sister, is really good because it adds a layer to her of like why it makes sense for her to turn against Ego in Guardians 2, which already makes sense, but now it's even more like personal to her, of like being afraid of Ego because of him being her father, right? So I really like that, and I feel like the scene where she tells Quill that she's his sister is really special in the way that it feels very real, of telling someone you really care about something that you're afraid might not go down well with them. The comparison I made in my mind is when I told my sister I was trans, it felt really close to that, like really similar in terms of the way she acted and everything. That felt personal. That hit me hard, and so I really like that scene. I feel like Mantis is like a whole other layer now of how much she cares about Peter, and she wouldn't let on in Guardians 2, but now that she's actually allowing herself to let on, and how much she cares about Peter, and in Guardians 3 that could hit very hard. Um, Especially as well that she has like a very big connection with Drax, so I'm curious how that's gonna go if he dies, considering that's how I imagined it would go, and we can see her connection with Drax in this film, which I really like. I like the two of them, just like their dynamic when they go to Earth. So I really liked it. I think it's a really good holiday special. Like for just a 40-minute like special, I feel like it does so much for these characters. I mean, in terms of Mantis, not really much of the others, because they don't get really all that much development. Mantis, the main one. Um, but I really liked it. Plus, I really like how Nebula it gives a present to Rocket because they're the only two Guardians who survived the snap. So I feel like that could be interesting to explore in Guardians 3, how they're the only two who spent 5 years without the other Guardians and how that might affect them. Plus, I just really like how Nebula, as a very closed off person who is just like listening to Thanos for most of her life, is relates to other people. It's just something I really loved in Guardians 2. The way she was like, I just wanted her sister to Gamora. Now she kind of has a family, but she doesn't have Gamora anymore, and how she deals with that, I guess, is very interesting to me. But we'll see how that's handled. I just really like that she actually gave a present to Rocket. Like, she's letting her sensitive side speak, even though she doesn't want to let it on. She doesn't want to show it, as she is just clear by the way she gives the present to Rocket. It's like she wants it to just seem like it's very offhanded, as opposed to something that she put a lot of time and meaning into. But obviously she did, because she had to she had to fight Bucky for his arm, or maybe not, considering how Falcon and the Winter Soldier shows that she could just like do a little like tap on his shoulder and his arm detaches. But Falcon and the Winter Soldier was a mistake. Yeah, so I like it. I'm gonna drink some water now. Tin, I think you were saying something and I talked over you. If you weren't, then it's
Alright,
Zod's time.
Well, the first thing was that, yeah, like I relate to the whole meant to scene feeling like a coming out sort of thing, especially since it's in a week or so. It's been a year since I came out to Manchester, so I definitely relate there. But also, a connection I just noticed is that another thing between Rocket and Nebula is that they're both sort of, I guess, more cyborgish experiments, since Thanos would rip her apart and replace it with another mechanical piece, and Rocket is like all cyborgish underneath. It's like, I guess they can both relate on that level.
I didn't really pay attention to what you said because I was thinking of a question asked in chat, but I think you probably said something that makes sense.
Tin did, don't worry.
Good. I'm proud of
One
you.
by
Tin.
one, hooray!
That's
Tin-
why
Tin-
we have Jeb here. So sorry, because someone
Tin-
asked
Tin-
sorry, go on, Jeb. I'll mention chat later.
I was going to say, Tin raised a very good point, and I think Tin should repeat how good it was.
No, don't worry about it. I will watch the stream. Do you think I'm gonna remember if she repeats it? I'm not.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
I feel like I should, because you're probably not gonna watch this back.
I'm gonna
Let's
watch.
be
I
honest.
watch. If I don't remember, I'm gonna watch it back. Don't worry. I forgot what I was. Oh, chat. Someone asked. I don't know if you had addressed it. Find love on the new dating. I don't think so. Thank you, sexinfo.info though. But I think I'm okay. The question was, I don't know if you had addressed this, but I do wonder how the Guardians were able to buy nowhere from the collector. How did how did wait, this doesn't say did, or am I just wrong? How did they get the funds, or did they trade something? Also, their new shit. I mean, James Gunn addressed that on Twitter, if you don't know, but it's basically just that, yeah, the mercenaries, they make a lot of money just like doing jobs for people. They do have hearts of gold, so they buy nowhere to rebuild it, and I think that's fine. Like, they would have money. They've been doing jobs for like 4 years by now, because Guardians 2 was set in 2014 and Infinity War 2018, and this is a bit after the snap. I don't know how long after, but it is after the snap. So they would have the money, which is the point that James Gunn made. So that's how they found out that, not how they found, how they bought nowhere. So
Jesus
I think it's
fucking
fine. And also, like, building a new ship or buying a new ship, that's fine. Especially because Rocket and Nebula were alive during Infinity War. Do you think Rocket wouldn't have built a new ship, or, bought a new one? I think that's silly, personally. I think they would have. I think Rocket wouldn't bear not having a ship.
It's also worth noting that because everything was destroyed in nowhere, its value would have skyrocketed now.
You mean dropped?
Yeah, Same meaning, but
Okay.
yeah.
Same meaning. Skyrocket is literally the opposite. Skyrocket means going very much up. Look, I'm making more sense than you.
In Infinity War, the collector says he had to sell most of his collection just to pay off some debts. So like,
Yeah, I think it'd be fine
I
if he
imagine
wants to
nowhere.
sell something to just to make ends meet after he loses like his most valued possession, which is the reality stone. So
Yeah, I imagine it wasn't that hard to buy off him, even if
yes,
he's still alive at that point. To be honest.
agreed. Zod, the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. What?
What?
Indeed. But there's very little I can say that's not already been said. I appreciate, just seeing more of Yondu's nice through like these flashbacks that are animated, and I don't really like having these sort of like animated segments. It I don't know why. It's a nice style.
It's based off
It just
an old animated style because it is meant to evoke that nostalgia feeling, you know.
yeah, and I feel like it works. You do definitely get that sense from it, and just like having more of Drax and Mantis together is nice. Just having like sort of developing them a bit as they explore Earth for the first time, because they've never like they've been there before in Endgame, but that doesn't count.
Let's say an game because they don't do anything in that film because that film sucks.
Yeah, it's just fun watching them. Just like have no clue how any of the sort of culture works, so they're just all bumbling around trying to find Kevin Bacon's house. They called Drax God of War, which I appreciate.
That was
And
a funny joke.
Yeah.
My favorite bit of that is how like Drax has this entire vendetta against the Gorbots, and like they're canonically like a different race in the Marvel universe, which is just funny.
Yeah, I saw people saying that on Twitter before I watched it, and when I did, I was like, "Oh, okay, that's a good joke."
Yeah, and then you just get the shot of him punching the shit out of one of them.
While Mantis takes a photo and is just happy that she has money, it's great.
Yeah, it's just you could easily have just not had a holiday special at all, but yeah, it's like they did one, and it does these like really meaningful things, like give this extra emotional context to the guns Peter uses, and just informs a bit more for several of the characters, including Yondu, and it works really well in terms of humor as well. Like it does, it does feel like a necessary thing, which is surprising because it's not something like before it was announced. I don't think anyone would have thought, yeah, let's do a Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special. Like that's not something anyone would expect to have happen. But here we are, and it's delivered some really good content. It's just some of the best in the MCU still somehow.
Well, it's not a high bar, but James Gunn
That's what I mean.
does know
Yeah.
how to write like characters, so that's good. Wait, GoBots or Marvel canon? Yeah, there's a very funny joke in the holiday special, which I do suggest you watch. CR Pow Stuck. I've never known how to say your name because if it's like Kerpow, Serpow, CR Pow, who knows? But yeah. Did I interrupt you, Zod, or was what?
You are not with it at all.
Yeah, I feel like I'm on the verge of passing out. I don't. Jeb, Zod, did I interrupt you?
No. I'm done.
Oh, good to know. So the point is, the point of this stream was to write Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 because I was like, man, I really like Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, and then they released the trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I was like, man, that's good, but that was after we scheduled this, so it's not really relevant to the story. I don't know why I'm mentioning it. Well, it is important because I know a bit of the context, I guess. Anyway, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is a film that I'm really looking forward to. It's probably the only Marvel film that I actually care about. Like, even like if they ever make Eternals 2, I don't think it's gonna be that good because it was so poorly received that they're probably gonna go in a wildly different direction. Whereas James Gunn can just do whatever the fuck he wants because he's that fucking awesome. Not to diss Chloe Zhao, but you know that is just facts. Her film was not received that well, even upon release. So, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is coming. The trailer release. I was like, man, I kind of want to write Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 on ECUM because I think that could be fun discussing the possibilities for it as we go forward. And I don't know, man. I feel like we could do this. So I don't know if I can do this right now, but I feel like we could just as a concept. So okay, I'm trying very much focus right now. In Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, I'm pretty sure at least one of the Guardians is gonna die. I think Jim's gonna confirmed it, and I'm pretty sure if I were to guess, I would say Drax and Rocket. Drax because Dave Bautista, not really liking like making franchise films. Plus, the way that I don't know. I just feel like if you were to kill off one Guardians character, you would be him, but also Rocket in the way that like everything seems so tragic about him in every single like trailer and everything. Like in that trailer, it was very much that he was like, oh man, this is our last hurrah. That's not what the word he used, but you get the point. And I and we see like I think we're gonna focus a lot on Rocket in this film, like showing his backstory because we see young Rocket, like like fucking child baby Rocket. And if we do that, I feel like that means that we're probably gonna get more context to make his death hit even harder. Plus, Rocket mentions how this is like their last adventure together, I guess. In this film, or in the trailer, in the trailer that released last week. So if that is the case, I feel like Rocket's probably gonna die. So I'm just curious about how y'all think how that film's gonna go. What do you think about the trailer? That's not my question, but that's kind of the question. Like what do you expect from a Guardian? I can't finish my sentence. What do you expect from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3? How do you see it going? Jab, I feel like you probably are more eloquent than anyone else right now. Can you speak?
Can I speak?
Sorry, I just want to read what Maverick said. Ice Kai, I had sober up quick, like an hour later, by downing water, because I had to unexpectedly drive. Well, joke's on you. I
What?
didn't. So I am drunk, and you are not Maverick. So I'm better than you. Anyway, Jeb, go
Um,
on.
what do I expect? I expect Guardians 3 to be. It's hard to explain actually because you feel like the focus of the Guardians is Peter,
In a way,
and this one it isn't going to be.
well, it's interesting because I feel like like the Peter storyline is somewhat over by Guardians 2, like dealing with his dad and him getting like some closure over it. But obviously there's a fact about Gamora dying and there's being another Gamora, which the trailer even focused a bit on her, meaning that they are going to address the fact that there is another Gamora around, which I do appreciate that they're not going to just like ignore her existence basically, because a lot of MCU things would, I'm looking at Loki and Multiverse of Madness basically. But I I do appreciate that, and obviously, what's his name? Peter Quill, Star Lord. He's gonna get a bit of development in terms of that, but I feel like a lot of the focus is gonna be especially on Rocket, which I like because it's like the most complex character. Like he, in the first film, he even said like I didn't ask to be made. I feel like that's such an interesting concept of someone like being a Frankenstein's monster type of character that doesn't like that he is alive, but he's found a connection that is even that's highlighted, especially in Guardians 2, with these people who are kind of just like as fucked up as he is, and having like if you turn this character into a very tragic character that dies saving the people that he loves, I feel like that could be really cool. So
I
yeah.
I have a feeling that Gamora's going to be um with the high evolutionary, and that's how it's all going to kind of mold together.
That could be interesting. I don't know. I feel. I mean, that makes sense. She doesn't really know the Guardians. She doesn't have like a sense of attachment to them. So if she like goes against them, I don't think that's like a problem. Um, I yeah. I mean, like she could be just a hired gun in this universe, just trying to make her way through it. I guess kind of like what's his face, Boba Fett. There's a line that he says is like I'm just a man trying to make his way in the universe. It's something like that. You get the point. You could be like that, and I that could be cool. That makes sense actually if she works for Aisha, especially because she has like a kind of a connection with Peter. Like knowingly, she knows that Peter really cares about her. Plus, there's the her knowing about Nebula. They probably talk a little bit. Um, after everything that happened, considering the events of Endgame. Um, so she could find a way to exploit that to like benefit herself, I guess, because this is like before she even made up with Nebula. So that could be cool. That's actually a good point, Jeb. I'm proud of you.
Yay! I know the Guardian.
You've paid attention to continuity. You've
Yeah.
been better about the MCU than uh any writer, I guess, other than I guess Taika Waititi, what's her fate? Chloe Zhao, and the other Eternals writers, and James Gunn. So you're better than Michael Waldron and Daniel Cretton.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Jeb. That is a very hard
I'm,
bar.
I'm glad I'm better than Michael Waldron of all people.
You know, he wrote a pretty decent episode of Rick and Morty, which I imagine Dan Harmon had a huge hand on, but whatever. Um, but anyway, so in Guardians 3, that could actually so okay, so Gamora, I want because I think that could be probably the way she plays a hand into it. Like she's a hired gun and she's working for Aisha, and she I guess maybe she finds a connection with Peter as time goes on in terms of like Peter's insane, like very close attachment to just like Gamora in general, showing her that she could do, like that doesn't mean that she that has to be like a hired gun. Like she could be better than that. I think that could be an interesting aspect to take it with her character being a different Gamora. Kind of like developing her to a point where after Guardians 3, she can actually be like her own type of person that actually helps people. I think that could be cool, especially if she and Nebula have kind of a relationship after the Guardians films, like Nebula showing her because Nebula kind of that Nebula broke free from Thanos um after Guardians 1. So I think that could be cool if she shows Gamora that way of like you can actually help people. And it might not like heal her, but it does like help her like deal with you know with like living, I guess. That's not the way I wanted to word that, but you get what I mean. Um that could be cool. And I think Peter, I'm curious about how much Peter is gonna get in terms of character, as you said, because this is gonna be very Rocket focused. Um, So I don't know if Peter's gonna get that much development because he's already like a pretty like fleshed out and complete character, but there's obviously this big aspect surrounding Gamora that he has to deal with. So yeah. Jeb went to Pete, so I don't know what to say right now. Rocket Raccoon is a character. I like Rocket. I think I really want to see more about him. 'Cause I think he's like the best Guardians character in terms of like what you could do with him. Like he's such a complex character. Someone who doesn't even like being alive and who he thinks he's so worthless that he pushes people away, as highlighted by Yondu to him in Guardians 2. Like his arc in Guardians 2 is just beautiful. And so I'm curious what they're gonna do with him. I imagine like the easiest thing to do is like he shows the way he's grown and how much he cares about the other Guardians that he sacrifices himself to save them. But the trailers have made that so obvious that I don't know. What do you think, Tin? Yeah, Tin. What do you think about Rocket Raccoon?
Well, obviously he's like a absolutely fantastic character with how like obviously the Frankenstein's monster sort of, I guess, side of it, how like he didn't ask to get made this way, how like we can assume he was just like a pretty normal creature, I guess, before the high evolutionary got to him, and now he just has to live as this weird sort of mishmash creature that he hates living as, and it causes him to just lash out whenever it's brought up and push everyone away. Has a lot of opportunities to go really anywhere with him, which is why it's probably most likely that he's gonna die in the next one, because I think like at this point, he's after Guardians 2, he's obviously like letting more people in after Yondu kind of helped break down all them barriers with him.
Mm-hmm.
So like, even in the holiday special, you see him sort of, I guess, be more willing to just be more emotionally vulnerable. I guess like it's not in a big way, but like
I mean, the big point of showing that is in the Guardians 2 when he says what Yondu told him. Yeah, when Yondu was being cremated, you know.
but like I guess in like a small way is that in the holiday special where when Nebula gives him a Christmas present, like you can see he's generally like really happy and surprised by it. Like he's let more people in to a point that he's glad to take part in this sort of shit. Like
Mm-hmm.
you couldn't see him doing that in the first film, which is fucking great shit.
Yeah.
It's good shit.
Yeah, I agree. I think Rocket breaking down his own barriers is a big thing that Guardians 2 focusing on and showing how his character going forward would be is really like special and unique about the Guardians films. You know how like Rocket is like a character who hates himself so much, but he allows himself to be loved despite that in Guardians 2. Like that's kind of the vibe, the idea I get from him. And in Guardians 3, it's kind of what I mentioned about the pushing that to the extreme of him sacrificing himself and being like, I love these people, and you know, want my sacrifice to mean something to save the people that I love, rather than pushing them away because I hate myself. You know, I think this is just like such deep character, and but I don't know if he's gonna die because it's been made so obvious by every like marketing thing that it feels kind of weird. But I do feel like it would mean a lot to his character if he did sacrifice himself. But yeah, I don't know. Like I think it could be really cool if he just finished the trilogy like with having like a happy ending. But I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think him and Groot are gonna have a happy ending. Despite what we want, I think James Gunn loves writing these types of tragedies that have like a lot of meaning behind them about like just like the nature of humanity and how people like to like, and how people's love and sacrifice means so much. Because yeah, Peacemaker is quite like that as well, and Guardians 2 even has a lot of that idea. I mean, even Infinity War has kind of that idea with Gamora sacrificing herself for once to stop Thanos, of how much she like wants to save not only the world but like the people she loves, and how Peter has to make that choice. So I don't know. I'm curious how that's gonna go. I don't know what my train of thought was, but that's I've said things. So yeah.
Mm.
Um, a lot of people have said that Drax is probably dying. Do you like Drax, Zod?
Yes, I do.
Probably.
I think it lines up that he might not make it through the next one. I can't like quite see how specifically it could happen, but I don't honestly just at this point. I think just most of them just like they could all be just any of them could go, but something about just like Drax and Rocky in particular, it just sort of feels like they could be at their sort of end point.
I think it would feel a bit weird to kill the other Guardians. Like if you kill Peter, it kind of feels like all that development kind of, like, I don't know, it didn't go anywhere. Whereas Drax has gotten the resolution of like Thanos is dead by now, you know, and he's gotten like
Yeah.
the revenge he wanted, which unfortunately Endgame didn't deal with properly, but that's beside the point. And someone like Rocket, like he's never had like he's never had like a goal other than looking out for himself and wanting to profit, and the only person he cared about was Groot, which ended up dying twice. um, old Groot and baby Groot. Well, it was teenage Groot in Infinity War, but you get the point. So having them die, like for the people they love, it feels very nice considering like they gained a new attachment that they weren't aware that they wanted or that they cared for. Like because Drax was like, I want to avenge my family, but he found a new family, and Rocket was like, I don't want people to care for me because I don't like myself. um so in that vein, you the if they died, it feel very meaningful to show like the end of their character journey, to show that they both like achieved something that they weren't looking for, but that actually motivates them a lot, you know.
Yeah, that about lines up.
Good, because I'm saying things. I think either Mantis or Peter will. I don't think they're gonna die. I mean, Mantis more likely than Peter, because but I don't think Peter's gonna die. I don't think that's a character James Gunn would kill. I think, especially after everything he's gained from the Guardians, it will mean a lot if he just kept going, knowing what they did for him, as opposed to sacrificing himself for them. But who knows? It's James Gunn. He can pull off things that I don't think could work because he's very good. Jabbery back.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's a yes. You didn't
It
beef for
might
that
be.
long, I think. Well, I mean, if you weren't back, that would have meant you peed for a very long, but you're not, so you didn't. Um, what if Peter is the only one that survives? As I doubt it.
Groot isn't dying. Groot is not dying.
Yeah, this is a new Groot. If they kill Groot all over again, like it's like, oh, that Groot died. Let's kill also Groot's son. Kind of feels like maybe not. Maybe that's not ideal.
It feels unlikely that well, you've already killed Groot once, and then you add the snap, and I feel like if you do it again, it's just gonna sort of dampen it.
Yeah, it's gonna feel a bit hollow, I think. Just keep killing Groot. Like if you kill Rocket and you get Groot's reaction, I think that could be way more impactful because of how much Rocket means to Groot, especially this Groot that's like a new Groot. And when he was snapped, he even called Rocket his dad, as confirmed by James Gunn. So I don't know. I think that could mean a lot. That could tug a few heartstrings.
I think
Yeah,
I think the ones to survive are Peter, Mantis, Gamora, and Groot.
I agree. I think so too. Unless there are others. Nebula. I think Nebula's gonna survive. I don't think Nebula's gonna die, Jeff. And Kraglin. Do you
I
think Kraglin's gonna die? He might actually.
I think Nebula sacrificed herself for Gamora.
That could be cool. I could
yeah,
like. I would. I think I would like that because their relationship being very strained by from at the time that Gamora comes from. I think that could show a lot of how Nebula has grown in that time that Gamora didn't see, and how much like this relationship with Nebula could have meant to her if she weren't, she weren't always trying to win against her. Yeah, as the Guardians 2 shows, she was the one who was always trying to win. So I think that could show a lot about her and have her join the other Guardians. Though I think that it could be even better if Gamora joins the remaining Guardians if Peter is dead. Um, so that like she doesn't really have this like romantic connection. It's just based on like her connection to Nebula. So that it doesn't cheapen, I guess, the relationship that Peter and Gamora had in the Guardians films. But who knows? I don't know. This is the last thing I'm excited for in the MCU. I read that as least, and I was very confused. But you said last, and I'm like, yeah, I agree. Anyway, Jeb, you were saying something.
I'm trying to think how Kraglin could die. I wouldn't want him to die because I'm kind of like, he just became leader of the Ravagers.
Hmm. I think it could be cool. Maybe he doesn't die, but he spins off and joins the Ravagers. And as opposed to because James Gunn's leaving the MCU after this, it's just a fact. But Kraglin remains as the character, and he joins the Ravagers. Maybe there's like a Ravagers TV show or something, or just like being Ravagers in space. I think that could be cool. With Kraglin, you know, and
I
featuring
think
Stakar.
I think Drax dies as the second at low point as well. I think that's going to be a risky thing to do, but that's what they'll do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Mantis and uh,
Peter.
Quill are crying over. Like he's been dissected or something by the High Evolutionary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird how the trailer frames it, I guess, because they seem to be very distraught about something happening, like inside, like I don't know, like a hospital room or something. There's like the blood dripping thing and everything. Like it feels a bit. It feels like something that they knew were coming. Like dissector. I don't know if that's the way to do it. I feel like he would be like poisoned or something. That's probably the way. And you take him to a doctor to try to fix him, but then his heart stops. I think that's probably the way that it would work. But your bet is as
War
good as mine.
Warlock will join the Guardians as well by the end.
I imagine so. He's a character that's just like based on like the way he's raised and guided. He follows those kinds of morals. If he sees that the Guardians are like trying to help people, and he's led to believe by the Aisha and everyone surrounding Aisha, I forgot the name. That they're like trying to help people, but when they face the Guardians, it seems like it's very much just like trying to get revenge or something. It could make him realize like the error of Aisha's ways, in which he realizes that the Guardians are actually trying to help people, and that's why he should join the Guardians, and that he should fight for helping people as opposed to just hurting people because Aisha told him to. Stop following rules and kind of breaking free for your own freedom. Yeah. I also feel like because James Gunn is really good at writing characters that are very unique in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like where, like Drax is just like he doesn't understand social cues and everything like that, but you can understand his character. Or Peacemaker, where he's like his one thing is about protecting peace above everything else, and that's like his main thing. But when you see the Suicide Squad and then the aftermath of that in Peacemaker, his character gets a lot of development, but that's still present within him, where he knows how to do, like, he creates a caricature and then adds depth where it doesn't feel like a caricature anymore. If you do something like that for someone like Adam Warlock, that isn't like a character and more of a tool, and you add character to him by making him realize like his own choice of free will based on the way Aisha raised him, to just be like a killing machine for her, and realizing that he can help people with the like insane amount of powers he has. I think that could be really cool. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to the way James Gunn writes a character like Adam Warlock that was raised by like just Aisha and being like, you're gonna be raised to be perfect and to kill people that made me mad like 4 years ago or more because the snap. I don't know if Aisha was snapped. I would imagine so. What was I saying? Adam Warlock. I don't know. Let's see. Adam Warlock does become a member of the Guardians in the comics. I do like how he joins up with them in the video game from last year. I did not finish that game. I didn't like the first hour of it, but I've been told the game's good, so I'll try it. But yeah, he does become a member of the Guardian. I'm just saying, like, in terms of how James Gunn would write it, I think that could work really well because he's very good at writing characters that like are very weird and unique. As I said, like writing caricatures, but that actually like turn out to not be caricatures. That's the way I would describe Peacemaker. You know. So that's kind of what I expect from Adam Warlock, a character that's kind of he's seen as not being like just being this villain, like single-minded, but he starts questioning it because of how he has because he thinks his purpose is to help people. That's probably the way I would do it, but it's James Gunn. He could do something more interesting than I could, especially when I'm not sober. I think he has better ideas than Drunk Sky, but who knows, honestly. Drunk Sky has signed 1 point perspective while Madvocate was snoring, so. So Jeb, say something. My brain is very much just trying to stay awake right now. Wait, Guardians 3. What? What?
What?
Um, What else could they address? I think they're obviously going to address the fragmented cosmos. I wonder how much Xander stuff is going to be involved, especially
Wait. What?
Nova.
Fragmented cosmos? What are you talking about?
So, like, the galaxies as such, they obviously lost half of their people.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
So I wonder how much we're going to see the impacts of that.
I think Nowhere is probably going to be the place where they address it the most, as this, because they established in the holiday special that they bought Nowhere. So I think that's probably the place where it's like they're gonna have like their base of operations, and it's gonna show a lot of like people trying to reestablish their lives, and Nowhere kind of houses them and shit like that. To like, I guess, show them, just get them back on their feet, considering it's after the snap and trying to reestablish their place in the universe.
And I wonder how Sandar will be.
Yeah, I was just thinking that I was gonna mention. I wanted to speak first, but Xandar. I think a big motivation for them could be like trying to rebuild the Xandar after it was destroyed in 2018 by Thanos. I don't know. I think you could do a lot with Xandar considering they saved it in 2014, and in 2018 Thanos destroyed it like off screen. And I guess they knew about it. Well, Infinity War is bad. Jeb and I had this conversation recently, where it's just like it seems like the Guardians know about Xandar being destroyed based on Infinity War. despite it not making any sense because they would care about Zendar, especially because they left the Power Stone at Zendar. But having to deal with the fact that Zendar was destroyed, I think it could add a lot to their characters, like trying to rebuild it, knowing like how they saved it and then it was destroyed, being like, it kind of failed protecting this place, and we kind of have a moral duty to, I guess, rebuild it,
Story writing.
Yeah, James Gunn likes to address things, um, in general, just like he doesn't. He's not like, hey, let's just ignore this world building thing. He actually likes being like, hey, what would this entail? It's kind of like Russell T Davis in that sense. Like, well, what if I establish this thing? What does it mean for the characters that I've established? So that's good. At least this movie seems like it's actually going to have good comedy moments. I just hope the jokes don't undermine the emotional moments. I think that I agree. What did you just say? Don't undermine the emotional moments. Oh yeah. Um, I'm right. Okay. The Guardian films are very good at balancing comedy and seriousness. Like in Guardians 2, there's the moment where like Gamora's like, I don't know what Cheers is, and I think that's a fucking hilarious joke. When Quill keeps mentioning the TV show Cheers, but also just because it's like it shows the barrier between them and it characterizes them. Like, you can use comedy to characterize characters as much as you can just like casual dialogue that's taken seriously. So I think James Gunn knows how to do that. I mean, Peacemaker is a great example of the way he, like, most of the jokes are just Peacemaker being a fucking asshole, and it's making a point of that to characterize Peacemaker as a character who just he doesn't want to let himself get attached to people. You know what I'm saying? Jeb probably knows better than I do because I'm just saying things. But you know what I'm saying, Jeb?
I do. It basically he's saying funny things that are mean, but it's to try and protect himself from getting attached.
Yeah, in a way where when we get to the end of the show, when he's actually let people get close to him, it's actually like a really good payoff, and you realize how those jokes are of like him being mean, whether you laughed or not, they were like, there was a purpose to them. It wasn't just like, hey, he's making a joke, which a lot of comedies do. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like just being like, hey, this is funny. Let's stop to make it funny. You know how in the Last of Us trailer there was the Ellie joke? She was like, hey, I'm a clicker, a joke. As opposed to just characterizing her and Joel in the way that the game does, because the game is good. The first one, not fantastic, but good.
A good
Yeah.
a good example in Guardians 2, and it's very subtle. In the film, at the beginning, Quill calls Rocket a trash panda, and the joke is obviously Rocket's not going to know what that is, and then Quill's like, "Oh, it's way worse." There's the comedic element, but then you realise that that's playing on Rocket's main insecurity and how he despises his own existence.
Mm. Yeah, he hates being reminded that he hates himself, and that's kind of the point. But he also doesn't want to let people close to him uh because he hates himself and he thinks he doesn't deserve it. So in that sense, that's why that joke really works, is because Peter is making like fun of Rocket in a way that is like very personal to him, because it reminds him of how much he finds himself worthless. Which is just very good characterization despite being a very like throwaway joke. So good example, Jeb. I'm proud of you.
And another one is the ones that dance and the ones that don't. Is Drax saying about his love life, but where he's so inept at understanding boundaries, it comes off really funny.
Yeah, I don't know that characterizes Drax, but if you say it does, it does.
Well, it depicts like more about his how he met his wife, and you're kind of reminded, oh yeah, she got brutally murdered because of Thanos.
Oh yeah,
And Drax,
in the way that he bases everything around his own experiences with his family and how much grief he feels and how that it's always on his mind. I guess that makes sense. Did you know that Anya
exactly.
Taylor-Joy became a gamer for Mario Super Mario Bros. Prep.
Yes, because you just sent that link in the chat.
You're welcome then, because you didn't know before I did. So, yeah.
Sure.
The sister reveal in the holiday special was probably set up for Quill to lose another family member. I don't. Maybe, I guess. I feel like it feels more like either he's gonna sacrifice himself for Mantis, which would make sense for him to sacrifice himself for like family, like not just the family he found, but the family he actually has in terms of blood, to make it more personal, or just to make like I think the big thing about the holiday special was not to in relation to Quill, but in relation to Mantis and how much she's letting herself feel for these people that she's just met and how she's letting herself be free after she was a slave for so long and in the hands of her dad. So the sense of her being like, I'm your sister is her being like, I want to, like, the only connection I've ever had is with you people, and I want you to know how much you mean to me. Kind of in that sense. That's how I at least read that scene of her saying, I'm your sister. Regardless of them being blood related, it's just like she Quill means a lot to her, and she wants him to know that. Either by bringing Kevin Bacon to him or actually just telling him, you know. I don't know if that counters anything you said, but yeah, for real, so true.
I'd if I were to have Peter die, I'd have his final moment, like um, him being welcomed to it by his mother.
Well, obviously, but that would be like as he's a vision as he's dying. I mean, just kind of in the
Yeah,
sense of like if he dies, I think it makes sense for him to sacrifice himself for Mantis. But I don't think Mantis is dying. I think it makes more sense for Quill to sacrifice himself for Mantis. You know what I'm saying? You didn't
I think
answer if you know what I'm saying, but I imagine you do.
I think if we had to rank it in likeliness, it goes like Groot, Drax, Nebula. I really hedge my bets Nebula third most likely.
Why did you put
Then,
Groot
well,
first? Did you mean Rocket?
did I say Groot? I thought I
You
said
said
Rocket.
Groot. No, wait. 10, Zot, you're sober. Did he say Groot?
He said good first.
Oh,
I
okay,
meant
good.
Rocket.
Dumbass.
Dumbass. Hey, 10, you and I connect. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, go on, Jep. So it's
It's re
Rocket and Drax, and I don't remember the rest of the list, but you made a list.
Nebula.
Nebula.
Nebula's third most likely.
It could. I would like. I would. I would be okay if she Nebula died to ensure that Gamora had like had a future, considering the love she found for Gamora based on Guardians 2, how they actually found a way to, I guess, know what they mean to each other. Because Gamora has always meant a lot to her, but Gamora didn't know. So showing to her how much he means to her in a way to show her, I guess, the correct way. I think that could be cool. So yeah, if I think that's fine to put her in third place. I think her dying for the new Gamora would make sense.
I'm just rewatching the first Guardians of the Galaxy, and man, starting off with a child's mother dying of cancer and then getting abducted is like the darkest. It's not. It doesn't fit anywhere else with the MCU in terms of how raw that is.
I mean, the first Iron Man film, I think that it could put something like that off. That film does go very hard in terms of like pushing the point about Tony Stark being a fucking asshole and losing his parents and how much that meant to him. Um, I think that's like the only MCU film that goes as hard as Guardians in terms of like how much these things, like how these very real life type things could actually like impact them and actually depicting them. You know.
I still remember watching the first Guardians trailer and being like to my dad, I really want to see this in cinemas. Can we see this in cinemas?
I don't remember if I watched the first Guardian. No, I actually didn't. Actually, you know what? I remember when I watched the first Guardians the first time. Um, it was just when I bought my Xbox One, and a friend of mine gave me his account so I could download Grand Theft Auto 5. And I was like, yeah, hell yeah. And I was downloading it during watching Guardians of the Galaxy in my living room with my parents. And I remember in the middle of it being like, no, don't pause. I'm just going to check how the download's going. And I went into the to my Xbox and like, oh, okay, so that's how the download's going. So I remember the first time I watched it. I didn't actually pay much attention to it. I only did after I watched Guardians 2 actually, which I watched in theater, but I didn't actually watch all of it. Do you guys know the story about me watching Guardians 2 in theaters? It's actually a really funny story.
No.
Okay, so
No.
friend of mine, he's a huge Marvel show, and we were like, yeah, hell yeah, let's watch the film when it comes out, because why not? It came out on a Thursday, which meant school day, and in 2017 I was 14, so we're like, okay, let's go after school. So we bought the tickets. No, we didn't buy the tickets. We just said, yeah, that's the time where we're gonna go. Let's go watch it. So Thursday after school ends, we go to we go there. No, actually, we had bought the tickets. Yeah, we had. So anyway, we go there, and the people say, okay, but if you want to go in, you need ID because they need to confirm that you're over the age that you need to be able to watch this film. I think it was rated 14. Is probably why. We were like, man, we don't have like my friend forgot his ID because obviously he did. He's dumb. So we had to go running back to school to get like some type of documentation from school that proved that he existed and he was over 14. And so we did. So we ran back. But because of that, we were like 2 minutes late. But obviously, there's like trailers. So I was like, oh, that's fine. But it was release day. So I checked the tickets, like, and they show. So it's weird. I don't know, understand why, but there's like this thing where it says the name of the cinema and a number, but it doesn't mean anything, that number. And underneath it, it has the place where we're sitting. No, not the place we're sitting. The room where we're going, because this number doesn't from 1 to I think 9. And so it's like, oh, it's room 4, but it actually wasn't. So we went there, and when we got there, it was during the scene where Gamora and Peter are discussing right after Ego shows up. When they crash land into the planet in Guardians 2. And I was like, oh, I imagine they didn't play trailers because it's like a release day type thing. It was like, oh, okay. So we watched the film and we didn't watch like the first 20 to 30 minutes, kind of like that. That's when we started. And I only realized that when we were because I thought it was like, oh, we just started. We're just like a couple minutes late. But no, we were actually like 30 minutes late. We got into the wrong room. And my friend holds that against me ever since then. So that's how I watched Guardians 2 for the first time. I didn't watch it fully. So, yeah. This is actually a true story. It's not just me making shit up because I'm drunk. It did happen. So, yeah. But it's so that's because so that's why he hates Guardians 3 too. He thinks he's like he genuinely hates the film because of that experience, but I really love it because it's really great. So, but then I rewatched it at home once, and I was like, man, that film is so good. I remember even when I watched that time in theaters, even though I didn't watch the first 20 minutes, I was like, man, it's just even better than the first film. Which is true. I just didn't have the full context. I was just a little 14-year-old kid who was just saying things because she didn't know what she was saying. She was just saying shit. She didn't know what filmmaking was. But the funny thing is, Guardians 2 is a film that made me want to be a filmmaker. So, I mean, even though I didn't watch the full film, the film is just that good for me to love it. So, Jeb, you were saying something. I think I talked over you.
I was gonna say, I remember Endgame where I had to suddenly rush out of the house to go to cinema to get tickets because naturally audio websites all crashed due to bandwidth overload. And
Oh
my dad was
yeah.
like, "Why are you rushing?" And I'm like, because I need to see this film on
Mhm.
midnight release.
Yeah, my friend bought it on the day that they started selling tickets. It's the same friend that watched Guardians 2 with me. He usually is the one that buys tickets for us. Uh, and I remember how sites went out like instantly when tickets started selling, which is kind of insane considering it's Brazil. Um, like an English speaking country, it's just kind of insane how big Marvel films are here. Um, so yeah, I remember that experience of being like, I don't know if we're gonna get tickets for the correct day, but we actually watched it one day late. So what he did was he watched it on Thursday, which is the day he came out in Brazil, and we watched it with him on Friday because we had class on Thursday and Friday we had a test, so that meant we got out early from school, so we watched it with him on like the day after opening day. But he had already watched the film because he's just that big of a Marvel fan. Um, yeah, but that was fun. I remember watching Endgame. That was a fun experience.
I did as well. I did the Infinity War Endgame double bill.
Oh, was that playing during Endgame times?
So the double bill is basically you watch Infinity War and then you have like a small what's it called?
Discount,
No. You have like a small break
right?
and then Endgame played and that cost £5. So it was two films for the price of one somehow.
Oh, that's great. I've
I was like, yo, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, that sounds great.
It was the same for the Star Wars actually when I watched the entire sequel trilogy.
And
All
then you
£5.
became blind, so I think the cost was a bit more than you bargained for. But I saw Guardians 1 in theaters 3 times. First time in 3D on opening night, second and third times, different theaters. Guardians 2 twice in theaters, 3D on opening night, 2D for second. That's nice. I only watched Guardians 2 once in theaters, but I've watched it many times since because it is the best Marvel film, without a shadow of a doubt. There's just no competition. I love Eternals and Avengers, but just no, Guardians 2 is the Guardians 2. Yeah. No, I
How
mean
many
Guardians
minutes
2 is
am I
the
in?
the masterpiece. What did you say, Joe?
So that I'm watching obviously Guardians 1 again, and like I'm 11 minutes in, and I'm like, what a impactful 11 minutes to introduce Peter, who was a nobody at this point, to like general audiences.
Yeah, I mean the way they characterize him in the scene where his mom dies, I think is kind of insane. Like him as a kid, I think he's just you have so much about his character already, and the way he's like listening to music and he doesn't want to see his mom and he has like trouble facing the trauma of his mom's death. And the only moment where in the film where he actually is able to accept his mom's death is only at the end where she's like, "Take my hand, Peter, take my hand," and it's obviously Gamora saying it, but he visualizes that as his mom. Like there's just it's so well characterized. Like it sets up so much. I really like it.
Same here. Guardians 1 is very strong.
Guardians 1 is very strong. Um, I think FIFA is glitched. It was glitched. Okay, that's good to know. Um, yeah, because I have FIFA open. Why not? Right? I'm not using my screen for this ECUM anyway. And I was like, wait, this squad building challenge is saying a thing. Is saying that it only has 2 challenges as opposed to 5, which is the thing that it says when I click on it. And then I realized, yeah, it was glitched. Anyway, what was I saying? Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh yeah, so I have no idea what I was saying. I think I'm curious about how they're gonna do like Adam Warlock because like Guardians 1 obviously doesn't focus all that much on Ronan. Ronan. I think it's Ronan. Um, because
Ronan.
yeah, because he's just a vehicle for establishing all the Guardians as characters, right? But Guardians 2 focuses a lot on Ego because he's Peter's dad, so he characterizes him quite a lot. So I'm curious how they're gonna do Adam Warlock because he's not like related to any of the characters, but I think he's not the type of character you can just leave like Roman. Ronin that's just so, I guess, bare bones characterized. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he's like the type of character you would characterize more, but obviously the film has so much to do by like ending the trilogy and establishing that all these characters, establishing the end of all the character journeys, because like these characters we're never gonna see them together again. James Gunn is just he's confirmed that. So I don't know how he's gonna be able to characterize all of them in like one film. Maybe the film's just gonna be very long. It's gonna be like Eternals. It's like almost 3 hours long. But I don't know.
So you got Aisha, Adam Warlock, and then you got the High Evolutionary and maybe Gamora as antagonist.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Gamora is gonna be like an actual like antagonist. I think she's gonna be an antagonistic force that turns good by seeing Nebula fighting with the Guardians. I think that's the idea.
I'm really curious on the High Evolutionary because it's the High Evolutionary obviously created Rocket, and seems to be active even now.
Listen, mm, I don't, I don't know what the high evolutionary is, Jeb. Give me
So
context.
the High Evolutionary is this being that creates cybernetic with animals. So he is the creator of Rocket.
Right.
He is technically Rocket's father, if you want to
In a way.
go into that.
Mm.
He's very much a very powerful being. You don't really want to fuck with. He's like really intelligent. I think he has telekinesis.
So
He's like,
I feel like the way you're describing it, it feels like that would be the main villain to give Rocket some closure, and Adam Warlock is like the character that would turn and help the Guardians by the end. You know, so that
yeah.
he's an antagonist before that, but then he joins the Guardians and he helps them beat the high evolutionary.
The interesting thing about the High Evolutionary, though, is he actually started as a human being.
Oh, really?
Um,
You could do a lot with that in terms of him and Quill being both humans.
that's what I think. I think if they made the High Evolutionary part celestial like Quill, and that explains why all the superhuman elements of the High Evolutionary kind of works.
That could be interesting. Oh, I mean, it could even make it Quill's brother, considering Ego was just trying to make children to, um, you know, ha- use them to take over the universe. I think that could work, if it is like genuinely like Quill's brother. I don't know.
I also, I'm also excited for the performance. I can't remember his name, but the guy who played,
Mun in Peacemaker apparently. Mern.
yeah,
Yeah. Some
yeah,
Sam Collins had in chat, so I know that. I didn't know that before, but now I do. Um
he's in the trailer with the when there's someone on the running machine.
Oh, that's
He's
him.
standing there.
I remember
Yeah,
that. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Curious how they're gonna do that. Um that could be interesting. I don't know, man. I really look forward to everything James Gunn makes, and I'm sad that he's not gonna make like Guardians 4, but I'm really happy that he's gonna finish these character journeys, you know, and that he's gonna run the DCU. Like he clearly knows what he's doing. So I don't know. I'm just happy that we still have him.
I'm glad that they didn't permanently get rid of him after
After
that whole
those
fiasco.
stupid allegations. Yeah, it was like, oh hey, you're a pedophile because you made jokes 12 years ago where you were like, pedophiles are bad. So that clearly shows you're a pedophile. You know, because yeah, that makes sense.
I just I feel like as well. I don't think they'll ever do like a Guardians film, but they'll do like Guardians projects.
Well, I think it would just be the kind of thing where like in the Avengers films, the Guardians show up, or like they show up in other films that are set in like you know like Captain Marvel or the Marvels, or you know those types of films that are set like outside of Earth. that's where you'd have them. I don't think they'd ever be like main characters again, like they are in the Guardians films. You know.
Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting for Secret Wars. Thinking about it,
Yeah, I'm curious. Like, whoever survives, if they're gonna show up, and if they do it in what sense, I guess.
it's like, oh, Secret Wars is gonna be weird because you don't even know if fucking Spider-Man's gonna be in it at this point.
Mm. Well,
You'd imagine. but-
Secret Wars being written by Michael Aldrin, or is it King Dynasty? I was get those two confused.
Secret Wars
Is
is
it?
being written by Michael Waldron.
Then who's writing
Cat
King Dynasty?
Dynasty is
I can't
what did
type.
they do?
King Dynasty writer. Did they announce it? Oh, it's Jeff
Oh.
Loveness. Is the guy? It's the other.
That's it.
Yeah, he's the other Rick and Morty writer that we mentioned in the no Rick and Morty in the
He's doing
She-Hulk thing.
he's doing Ant-Man 3, I think.
Yeah, he is. That's what I meant by the She-Hulk thing. He's written 6 Rick and Morty episodes. Let's see which ones. Why are you not showing it? Why are you talking? Show no, IMDb. Why are you doing this to me? I swear this isn't my fault. Okay, just because I've drank doesn't mean everything is my fault. Wait, hold on. I need to click on 6 episodes. Oh, I was clicking on the wrong thing. It was my fault. Anyway. Let's open the episodes. Oh, he wrote the Fat and Fasted episode. That was like one of the greatest Rick and Morty episodes. He also wrote 501, which was great. Oh, so he wrote the Dragon Sex episode, which that name should probably tell you. Oh, you need to know. Well, actually, not. It's pretty good, but it's not great. He wrote an episode. Oh, he wrote the train episode. I love that episode. He wrote. I don't know if it's an alien civilization where Rick controlled by parasites. Oh, he wrote the alien episode. I really like that one. Veta Vasset episode is one of the best of the show. He wrote 501, which is great, which is about the like Aquaman villain. It's good. Rick Morai Jack was the finale of season 5, which is also great. So he's written really good Rick and Morty episodes, but so did Jessica Gao. Yeah, Jessica Gao wrote the Pickle Rick episode. So who knows what the fuck this means? You know what's funny? He wrote 238 episodes of Jimmy Kimmel Live from 2011 to 2016. So that probably means something.
Great.
I'm just confused about how you need to write for that.
I mean, what?
Oh.
What? They
you
obviously
okay?
script. They obviously script the episodes. What are you talking about?
No, it's just. I never really comprehended those are some things you need to really script out and plan that much. It's just.
No, it's not planned, but it's definitely scripted. It's like, oh, you're gonna talk about these topics. Let me write jokes for you. Like, you know, there's a team behind it. It's the same as SNL. There are
Ooh.
writers behind it every season.
That's really interesting about Guardians 1.
Mm.
So, Groot is confirmed to have only recently been traveling with Rocket. So, in theory, they could show how Rocket gets out with Guardians 3, but it'd be like Rocket only just recently escaped. That's an interesting concept.
Oh, so he like escapes just before Guardians 1 and he meets up with Groot and he just starts a partnership, I guess.
Yeah.
That could be
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't contradict anything in the first film. That could be really interesting. Especially considering how attached he is to Groot by the end of the film, but not in the beginning, because he's very antagonistic to Groot in the beginning. That could be cool. I would like that. Gunn said Volume 3 was the last film with this team of the Guardians. So there may be a possibility of a different roster. Just still Sylvester Stallone's crew that was being teased. Yeah, obviously there's the Ravagers, but I don't think James Gunn I think is just leaving the MCU after this, as far as I know. If they do something with the Ravagers or something like that, I hope at least he's consulting on it, you know? Like, he doesn't just let them do whatever the fuck they want, because I think the Ravagers are such interesting characters to work with. I wouldn't want them to just be like caricatures, you know what I'm saying? you know. So I don't know. Like I feel like current MCU writers would fuck them up. So either just leave them alone, or if you do something with them, do like with one of the people involved with the Guardians films, you know, or someone involved with Peacemaker. You know, just someone that knows James Gunn and knows how to write for him. Even though that clearly doesn't work really well, considering a lot of the Rick and Morty writers that have gone to the MCU were shit, but they know how to write under Dan Harmon. So I don't know. But I like the Ravagers. I would like to see more of them. Plus, Sylvester Stallone's great.
Ravage these nuts. Ha, God.
Good one.
But yeah, I agree. I fully agree.
Good. I have no idea what I was just saying, but I'm glad you agree with that. I probably agree with it too if I was saying it. So, I'm happy you just keeping up. Gave you my mind straight. Guardian. Okay, so Guardians 3. We've talked about most of the Groot. What do you think Groot's journey is going to be? Do you think it's just going to be relating to Rocket dying and him having to, I guess, deal with that, or I don't know. Do you think it's gonna be characterized all that much? Because I think Guardians 1 is probably the one that focused on Groot the most. So I
I
don't know.
think we're going to see a Groot that starts off very much happy-go-lucky life, but is forced into situations that are highly dangerous, and I think we're going to see a more vengeful Groot, like a really angry Groot.
That would be interesting to see a very, very, very angry Groot after Drax dies, and then but Rocket is like, you know, you don't look for vengeance because that leads you down a dark path. Just just appreciate the people you have, you know, the people that care for you. I think that could be cool, especially after if Rocket dies, because it would mean that Rocket is like understanding the value of the Guardians and what they mean to him. I think that could be really, really great. I hope what I said makes sense. Made sense.
Yeah, I'd. Because part of me wants, if Rocket dies in front of Groot, and it's because of the High Evolutionary, I want to see like Groot just rip him to shreds.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it'll go down like that.
Well, I think it could be cool if he is like that, because he can because grief, it goes in stages, right? The first stage of grief is obviously just denial, and then there's anger, and then he learns to accept Rocket's lesson. I think that could be a good journey to follow on by the end, when I guess most of the Guardians died. Someone asked in chat if we're expecting all the Guardians to die or not. I expect most of them. Maybe not most. I expect at least Drax and Rocket to die. But I don't think they're all gonna die. I think that would be silly. But maybe they could do like a Toy Story 3 moment where they're all accepting their deaths. Even though Toy Story 3 obviously saves them all because it is a Disney animated, Pixar animated film. But you could have them all accepting their deaths as their part in saving the galaxy. But I think it would be a big thing where, like, I don't think they're all gonna die. I think you could have a lot of lessons that these characters learn, by other characters in the Guardians dying, and how they could, you know, use that to move on, and bring like happiness to the world by being heroes. I think that could work really well, because James Gunn's writing is a lot in a big part about like being hopeful, I guess, in a way. You know, it's not just like being all doom and gloom, like all characters are gonna die, and it's very nihilistic. Even though his characters, like Peacemaker's very, I guess his worldview is very binary, and you could see him as nihilistic in a way. But his stories aren't. The moral of his stories is very, very hopeful. Like, you can have Guardians of the Galaxy 2 where it's like, oh man, my dad fucking, he wants to destroy the galaxy to rule over it. But the idea of that story is to accept, you know, that being normal when being like everyone else is not bad that being like everyone else just means you have somewhere you belong, you know, which is how we relate to Rocket's arc, but obviously how Quill is just like how his dad's like, oh, you're gonna be like everybody else. It's like, what's so wrong with that, you know? So I like the lessons that James Gunn teaches with his writing. So I don't think he would kill everyone off. I think that wouldn't be all that hopeful in the way he tells his stories, you know? So yeah.
Black people. I agree.
I'm just so eloquent when I'm drunk. I should drink more during ECUM because I clearly speak better when when I drink than when I'm sober. Um, I just take longer to finish my sentence, but that's fine. Don't worry about it. Remember this is Group 1 son, so personality has already been different. Volume 1 group was more kind, laid back and chill than Volume 2 and onwards group. Well, obviously this is just like a teenage group, I guess. I guess young adult by the point Guardians 3 takes place. He's not he's obviously not just he's very different from the other group because obviously he's got the personality of all the Guardians being like his parents basically. So I'm curious how that's gonna affect him and his development because we've already seen a bit of that in Infinity War, in the way that he's very much just like detached from the world by being like a teenager, but he obviously like helps Thor because he has a sense of right and wrong. Being a young adult that has not had to like experience loss because he was snapped. You know, it's not like he was spared while the snap happened, so he doesn't really have any experience with loss, like on a first hand basis. So it would be interesting to see his first hand reaction to the first time he loses someone he cares about. You know, especially if it is Rocket, because he's the guy he's the person that means the most to him. So I you could do a lot with that. I think yeah. 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 For yeah. I'm having yeah. I'm having issues
I
keeping
want.
my head straight.
I
So
wonder
Jeb,
what
you're
the
saying
song. Obviously, they'll do a rocket funeral if he dies. I wonder what song they'd play.
that's in the end of Guardians show they give him the iPod that's not an iPod. What's the name? Zune? Zune. Okay, when did okay, so hold on. Zune release launch, yeah. Zune launch. Man, I'm okay. It was it was it lasted from 2006 to 2012. So I guess it would be the song that the latest the song could be released for when is in 2012 in terms of what song could play from his player, unless they get like an iPod at the end, but I don't I don't think so. So it would be around that time. I guess 2012 is the latest, and obviously it would I don't know. It would just be songs that yeah. I don't know what I'm saying. Jeff.
Basically,
2012 is the
if
latest the
it's
songs could be
yeah,
from. So I'm curious what songs released in that time. I don't know what James Gunn really likes like metal songs, but obviously I don't think that would fit really. He really likes pop songs from like the 20th century because he plays a lot of those in both Guardians films. Obviously relating to the time where Peter Quill was staying from Earth, you know. So I'm curious. Maybe it would probably be I think a song around from that time because I think they would play a song that means a lot to Peter and not just any random song. So I don't know. I mean what's the song that the Rocket plays when he's fucking tearing up the the ship, Yonder's crew in Guardians 2, what's the name? I mentioned it when I was watching the film earlier.
A little
Hold
bit
on.
closer.
Come a little bit close. I think that's way too upbeat.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
There's another song he was singing too when he took out Yondu's crew before he was captured. You know, before Groot freed Gamora. What was the song? I probably also mentioned it because I like the song.
Lakeshore Drive, I think.
Oh, Lakeshore Drive. Right. No, wait, that's no. I was about to sing wasn't it?
I think it should
Southern
be.
Nights.
I
There's
think
a,
it should be framed as a song to Rocket from Groot because Groot also shown to have investment in the music with
right.
Mr. Blue Sky.
Well, they could. Well, I don't know if they would redo father and son, but it would fit because Groot does listen to father and son when Yondu dies, and obviously Groot calls Rocket his dad when he dies in Infinity War, as confirmed by James Gunn. That could work, I think, but I don't know if they would reuse the song. Is there an hold on, let's see. Hold on. Who who made Father and Son?
So
I'm having
it's
trouble writing. Father and Son. It's Cat Stevens. Stevens. I mean, I made you look up his songs, but Google has got me covered. Um, I don't think I've listened to like 99% of the songs. I just realized, so I have no idea. But I think it would fit if they if they did a Cat Stevens song. This is a song called Where Do the Children Play? It's from 1970. So that feels appropriate in terms of timing, because Peter Peter would know, and Peter would know it, and I think it could work because it's called Where Do the Children Play. Let's see the lyrics. Well, I think it's fine building jumbo planes or taking a ride on a cosmic train. Switch on summer from a slot machine. Yes, get what you want to if you want. Cause you can get anything. I know we've come a long way. We're changing day to day. But tell me, where do the children play? While you roll your hands over fresh green grass for your lorry loads, bumping petrogras, and you make them tough, but they just go on and on. And it seems like you can't get them off. No, it seems like that you can get off. Oh, I know we've come a long way. We're changing day to day, but tell me, where do the children play? Well, you've cracked the sky. Scrappers fill the air, but you will keep the building higher. So there's no more room up there. Will you make us laugh? Will you make us cry? Will you tell us when to live? Will you tell us when to die? I know we've come a long way. We're changing day to day. Tell me, where do the children play? I think this is the song. Where do the children play by Cat Stevens? That's my guess. So, Jeb, that's the answer to your question. I'm about to pass out. I'm okay, Jeb. Go on.
what?
I'm not. I'm not joking about Jeb. Just go on.
Um, the first scenes in the film will be the Guardians helping people out.
Uh, I
Um,
I think the first thing scene in the film is gonna be them in nowhere trying to, I guess, house people that have like lost their homes because of the snap. You know?
oh, it could be setting up the High Evolutionary first, like with Ego as the first scene in Guardians 2.
What first scene in Guardians 2 is still the the first scene in Guardians 2 is the flashback. I guess it could be. Maybe the first scene in Guardians 2 is the flashback that 3 is the flashback that establishes how Rocket was built by the High Evolutionary. That could work, I think. I don't I wouldn't oppose to that. I think that could make sense. and then it cuts to the Guardians doing something heroic to help people. You know, but like not in the way the second Guardians film does it, where it's trying to just portray them as like mercenaries doing things for money, more so than them actually trying to help people to reestablish themselves in nowhere, but in a like very fast paced, high beat, upbeat way, with like a pop song playing and just having fun helping people. I think that's probably this is kind of how I I see it going.
Just make sure Drax eats at the child.
Well, that
Yeah,
that does seem like a beginning of the film type thing. I don't remember the dialogue in that scene. It might be because of I'm not I don't I've drank a bit, but I like that. I like that joke. What's the hold on Guardians 3 trailer? Why is the first suggestion leak? It's not leaked. It's just a trailer. Stop being cringe. Google. Hold on. That's the joke. So they just arrive at a planet.
Galaxy still needs its guardian.
He says the galaxy still needs its guardians. And he says hello, we come in peace. So I guess it could be that they're trying to like help reestablish planets because of the fallout from the snap, which means the Guardians 3 is doing more and better world building than everything else in Phase 4 ever did in terms of the snap. But that's not a high bar, but it's just funny to think about. But anyway, it could make sense where they're like going from planet to planet and seeing people that need help after the snap and just being like, hey, we can help you. You still need the Guardians. Like the galaxy still needs the Guardians, and helping them reestablish in nowhere. That's the reason why I think they would buy nowhere, is to establish it as like kind of a safe haven for like refugees after the snap. I think that would make sense. I think that would be in character, and I think that would also just like work really well with world building, because the universe would be in tatters after everything that happened in Endgame. But obviously the MCU doesn't care about that, but James Gunn does because he's good. Yeah, I'm glad you all agree. I'm glad you're all speaking up.
Yeah.
Letting me lead this
yeah.
stream was a big mistake. I'm just saying.
It was, yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh, I'm so close to passing out.
It's not like we said this from the start.
Look, it's still your
You're the
fault.
one who encouraged it.
Yeah, it's your fault. Yeah.
They hated Jesus because she said the truth.
Jeb.
Hello.
Hey, I just said Jeb because I was cute, because there was like a fan sound. I didn't know if you were just breathing and like you were asleep, or is it actually a fan. But anyway, what were you talking about? Oh yeah, the beginning of the film. So Jeb, do you agree with what I just said? I don't remember what I just said, but I think it made sense.
I remember what you said, and I agree. That's how I think they'll do it.
Good. So yeah, so I hope Drax eats a ball at the face of many little girls throughout the film. I think 1 per 20 minutes is probably a good ratio of like hurting little girls, because children deserve it. I really don't like children. Children are annoying. Why do children exist? Why aren't you just born as an adult? What's the point of being a child? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No.
Why do you not know what I'm saying, John?
This feels like a really fucked up version of Evil Dan. What's the point of being a child?
It's a more accurate and truthful version of that. Because being alive is fine. Being a child is not. You can quote me on that, even when I'm not. Even when I'm sober. I guarantee it. I stand by it. I guarantee that I stand by it. That's what I meant. What children are cringe, Tin? were you fun when you were a child? Don't you look back at your child years and like, man, I was cringe. It's just like that's like how.
Yes, but yes, but
What do you mean, but
yeah,
if the
sure.
child is cringe, they don't deserve to live. That's how
true.
God made us. That's how it works. I'm gonna stop
Yeah,
talking about children right now because I want us to get money, from YouTube, which means I just inserted an ad. So you're just watching an ad right now. Aren't you stupid? If you're watching live, you're watching an ad. Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm so close to passing out. You guys don't understand. Okay. So, is there? Have we talk about all the characters in Guardians of the Galaxy, and
I
that will
believe
be Guardians.
we haven't talked about Howard the Duck.
How I actually, you know what? I think he's a fun addition. I think he's a very fun joke that James Gunn added into his films. I really I dig it personally, but that reminded me. But then I forgot. So I was gonna say something, but I forgot. Hold on. I'm gonna remember it. I'm remembering it. Don't interrupt me so I don't lose my train of thought. So Howard the oh, it's Cosmo the dog. Do you think they're she I don't know, the dog's voiced by a woman, but I don't know if what the pronouns of the dog are, so I'm gonna use neutral pronoun. So they what do you think they're gonna play a big part into the film, or do you think they're just gonna be like a background character like in nowhere? There's just gonna be like an Easter egg, type thing, like it was in the first Guardians film, or do you think you're gonna play a big part? Because I like Cosmo. I think that's a good concept, especially because they had telekinesis, but obviously it makes sense for them for the Guardians to leave them in nowhere to help people because they have telekinesis. So I don't know. What do you think? Jeb, are you awake?
I am here.
So, and answer my question. What do you think about Cosmo the dog? Do you think they have a place in Guardians of the Galaxy for not for for is not a thing we endorse here. Volume 3. Jeb, don't leave me hanging. My brain is not uh, my brain can't handle someone not answering a question. I think I'll just short circuit. Please answer my question. Yeah, damn it, Jeb, don't
Yeah,
disappear.
you
Why did Jeb disappear all of a sudden? That doesn't like him. I mean, it's not. He's done that a few times. He's fallen asleep, but not like after like 10 seconds after I made sure he was awake. Come on, Jeb. Jeb. Come on, Jeb. God damn it, Jeb. I'm losing my mind. I'm so dizzy right now that I could just fall back and fall asleep. Can you please? Fucking hell.
Jimmy.
Okay. Zod, what
Hi.
do you think that not Howard the Duck. What's his name? Cosmo.
oh,
It's Cosmo. Do you think they're gonna be in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3? While I'll try to get Jeb to show off.
Uh,
I said can. I meant Jeb. I'm losing my mind. Okay, go on.
I'm not expecting all that much from Cosmo. I expect like a little bit of characterization, like just basically a very, just like fairly like flat, basically. Yeah, not
I
really
think
all that much.
I think it would make sense if the Guardians trust Cosmo to take care of Nowhere while they're away, because Cosmo is a sentient dog, and I like Cosmo. I think they're fun. I think when I look at them, like, hey, that's a dog. Plus, they sound like a woman. I don't know what the voice actress is, but she's alright. I mean, I don't remember having any complaints in the holiday special. Plus, it is a dog with telekinesis, so you cannot complain. So I mean, that's fun. So I think it's fine if they're just like, hey, take care of not unknown. Take care of nowhere while we're away fighting, I guess, Adam Warlock and everything that comes with the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, which I don't think they would tell Cosmo, because I don't think they know very much about the threats they would be facing yet. But like, who knows? Maybe Rocket has clairvoyance. I mean, if Garrett had an Agents of Shield, why not Rocket? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's fine. I don't, you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
You do. You have problem. Kai, are you sure? Are you drunk from? No, I'm not drunk from yesterday. I'm drunk from today, because Madvocate and I finished our today, because he was like, I'm busy tonight. I was like, sure, let's record it before ECUM. I mean, I'm gonna be drunk during ECUM, but that's fine. And here I am drunk during ECUM. So I mean, I predicted the future much like Rocket would. I don't remember what I just said. I think I mentioned that Rocket would predict the future, but I'm not actually sure if my joke makes sense right now. Jeb, are you here? Why did Jeb randomly die? I don't understand. How the fuck did that happen? How did Jeb like die mid me asking him him something? Like that doesn't make sense personally, but I don't know. Maybe I don't know how writing works. I don't know how ecom has writing, but it does. So, you know. Man, I need to sleep. Hey, Uwu is in chat, but his name is Uwu Chan, and I feel like that's such a cringe name that you don't you just don't deserve to be acknowledged. But you sound like Shani as a cheerleaders of Monster. Oh, I've drank a lot of gin today. I give me a break, okay? Yeah. Um, I don't I don't understand how Jeb died. Like, while I was asking him something, if he fell asleep, that's really impressive, because he sounded awake when I said, Jeb, are you awake? But maybe he was lying. Maybe he was like, yeah, I'm awake, like halfway through falling asleep. Um, we were talking about Guardians of the Galaxy. I generally don't know what the topic was regarding Guardians of the. I think it was Cosmo. Was it? We were talking about Cosmo. Why the fuck would I bring up Cosmo? There's such like a huge, not huge. That's such a small character in the Guardians of the Galaxy. You know what? Sure, Cosmo. I like Cosmo. They're a dog. They have telekinesis.
You tweeted this like 3 times already.
Tid, I don't know
You've said
what's
the
happening.
exact thing 3 times. They're cool. You don't know if the actress is if the character's female. They have telekinesis. You've said this.
Can you
3 times
confirm it,
already.
Meeton? You're trans, true. You care about gender. You would know.
Yeah.
Oh, so you can confirm it, Jimmy. So what's Cosmo's gender? Are they non-binary?
No.
So they're not non-binary. So what's their gender?
One sec, just let me check it.
You said you knew. Don't check. don't lie to me. Just because I'm drunk, I won't remember that you lied to me. She's like, she sounds like I did on Saturday. I think I think I sound worse than you, Shandy, because I couldn't understand. You could finish a sentence all at once. I think I'm repeating a lot of what I say just to get through a sentence. But Tin, Cosmo's gender?
She is a girl.
Oh, she's a she. Okay, good. That's good to know. So Cosmo, she's gonna be in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I don't. I probably not gonna be a huge part of the plot. But like Jeb disappeared, so I don't know what else to talk about right now. So I, what was it? What was I say? Guardians of the Galaxy. So Cosmo. Surely they're just gonna be like, she's gonna like they're gonna tell her to like take care of nowhere. How did you confirm that she goes by she her? And I'm curious. Did you just go like
I just
Cosmo
I looked
pronouns?
up Cosmo. I looked up Cosmo the space dog gender.
Oh,
I just said it says female.
that's alright. That's fair. That's fair. I respect it. If James Gunn wants to gender her, good for him. But did Jeb just snore or did you just lose my mind? Jeb, did he just snore? Did you also hear him snore? Or did I just make that up?
I don't know. I couldn't hear him.
So
Couldn't
my
hear him.
mind might have made that up. Isn't that fun? I thought you meant Cosmo. Alright. No, I mean Cosmo the dog, the telepathic dog. Like she's in the holiday special and she's in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 when the collector's like, "Hey, I'm the collector. And there's a dog in my collection." And they're called Cosmo. I don't think they gendered her in that film. Maybe I might just be misremembering, but I think the first time we hear her voice is in Guardians of the Galaxy volume, not volume, the holiday special. So yeah. What was the point I was making? I never heard of this character in my
Probably
life.
fine.
Have you not watched Guardians of the Galaxy one? Like she was in the collector's collection, unless I'm losing my mind, which Tin and Zod can confirm. Am I losing my mind? I mean, that's not the question I should ask. Was Cosmo in the collector's collection in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1?
Yes, she was.
Oh, good. See, so I'm not. Well, I might be losing my
Is-
mind, but
is
that
it
I
when-
merely I can remember Marvel films better than you, Uvu. So I mean that's just
It's when they walk in and Rocket notices her and they growl at each other.
Oh yeah, because she's in his the collector's collection. I haven't seen the first Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, so you're cringe, Uvu. That's fine. That's You know what? I don't judge you other than me judging you, so that's fine. Don't worry about it. I think Jeb fell asleep, just fully right after I asked him if he was awake, which is pretty ironic if you ask me. Tin is alright. Having Chen on me, not being like normal right now. So I'm good for them. I don't remember what I was saying. Cosmo. I think we should move on from the Cosmo conversation because I don't think that's very relevant.
We need a new
from-
topic. We need a new topic.
Okay, Tin, tell me something that you're looking forward to in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Hmm.
If I'm
Okay,
if I'm gonna bring up,
I
you're just talking. Never mind. Go on.
guess one way I'm looking forward to is how well, obviously it's gonna we might see the characters later on, but how it actually wraps up this team of the Guardians, because like James Gunn said, this is the last time they'll all be a team. So like, how will that all be wrapped up at like if they all disband or something?
I feel like the team we keep going even if most of them die, in terms of just like the idea of it. Like imagine there's Mantis and like Nebula and Groot alive, they would want to carry on the idea of the people they looked up to. Like Mantis looks up to Drax and Quill, and Groot looks up to Rocket and Quill especially, and Nebula to Gamora. Though I think Nebula might die, but if Gamora takes Nebula's space, not pace, place, I feel like she would take Nebula, take on Nebula's morals of wanting to help people that are causing so much harm to the galaxy after what they've done for Thanos. I feel like that could be pretty good personally, but I maybe, who knows. I I don't I feel like the Guardians of the Galaxy would keep going on even as like a an idea rather than like an actual team, because like the way the moral center of the, maybe not moral, but like the center of the team is Peter Quill. Even if he's dead, I think the idea of it, of the Guardians would still go on. I have no idea if I just said something that made sense, but like I think I did. I think I like. I think the I think I can get across the idea that I like Peter Quill well, even when I'm not, when I can't make sense. So yeah, Jeb is snoring. Did you all just hear Jeb snoring? I did.
I heard that one. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not. Jeb is worse than me. I'm on the verge of passing out, and I'm okay. Well, I'm not okay, but I've not passed out. And Jeb fell asleep right after I asked him, "Jeb, are you awake?" So I don't know. I feel like I'm better than him. Is there anyone actually watching the stream? Because there was like a two concurrent viewers last time I watched. There's 4. I'm sorry for all of you. I didn't mean to be drunk. It's Madvicat's fault. I mean, it's my fault, but it's also Madvicat's fault. Okay, there's 3 people now. So anyway, 10. You said something. Did I interrupt you, or did you finish
No,
your thought?
I finished.
Oh, that's bad because that means I gotta talk more, which is not good.
We could ask Sod.
So
Well,
what do you think about what Tim said? I don't remember what I asked him. I genuinely have no idea. But you go, girl. Yeah, you go. Talk. The floor is yours. I just did something stupid in FIFA because I'm not paying full attention. Go on, Doug.
yeah, I also think that I find it hard to imagine like the Guardians as a team disbanding outside of like every single one of them, dying, and that's like realistically, that's not. I doubt that's going to happen. So, like, as long as there's like some of them still alive, they're going to like continue to work together as a team. I kind of like in honor of those that are gone, and just because they care about each other so much. Like, I don't see them like spreading out to different corners of the galaxy or whatever to do different things. I don't feel like that's something that's been so. It doesn't seem like that's the sort of direction they go towards. Jeb just snored again.
Hey, I'm gonna. I wanted to quote Midnight Club. I'm gonna try to find a quote. Hold on. I apparently can't because I'm stupid. Hold on. But what you said reminded me of it, so I'm gonna find the Midnight Club quote. which is a show y'all haven't watched, but we're gonna watch it after we watch Hill House. Hold on. It's something to do with those before, so it's yeah. I'm gonna find it. Alright. I'm gonna hold on. I'm almost. Oh, screen rant. Don't make me. Okay. Hold on. Not TP. Chew those before. That's not the quote. I want the full quote, not the end. The quote. Fuck's sake. Hold on. Yeah. I'm almost there. Hold on. I have no idea what you just said, son. I genuinely don't remember a single word of what you just said. The quote is to those before, to those after, to us now, and to those beyond, seen or unseen, here but not here. I remember now why I looked up this quote is because even if the Guardians die, the idea of the Guardians isn't, so they're gonna carry it on. You know what I'm saying? Of like helping people. You know, I think that's what Zod said. I hope yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
See, me and Zod, man. We're just very we're just super. Our brain waves are just synced. You know what I'm saying? I imagine you don't, because I don't know what I'm saying. But like, Zod, proud of you. Bro. I like Guardians of the Galaxy. You do too. So we're basically the same person. Like, for real. I have no idea how to continue the stream. Do we have anything else we want to say? Do you think? I don't know. What did we just talk about? I don't remember. I think we just talked about if most of the Guardians died, that the idea is gonna carry forward, which I agree.
We did do that, yeah.
Oh, that's good. That Sky said she's saying. Oh, I did, didn't I? I'm gonna do that before we finish. Remind me, Naira. I almost called you Kyra. Isn't that funny? Right? It's mildly funny.
I will answer the thing that
what?
Androzani in chat. Androzani.
Oh, okay. Hey, Zod, have you started watching the seventh Doctor era? Zod, that's a question from Genesis of Androzani, also known as Connor, the Pink Floyd fan. Connor, his first and last name are Connor. Anyway, go on, Zod.
Yeah, I have. I think I'm sort of getting closer to the end of his first season. I'm halfway through Dragonfire, which is the story that Ace is introduced, and I like his performance a lot. I'm quite a big fan of how he plays the role so far. But the stories he's been in haven't been all that impressive in terms of writing. Time in the Rani was a particularly interesting start. Because the episode literally just starts with Colin Baker. No, not Colin Baker. The other one, Sylvester McCoy, just dressed up as Colin Baker, just dead on the floor. So that's an interesting way to do regeneration. But and also the Rani's traps are bewildering, to say the least. But I like Sylvester McCoy himself, and Ace seems like she'll be make for an interesting companion. So I'm still going to stick with it. See what happens.
Phone disconnected. My microphone disconnected. I'm sorry, Zod. You were cut off a little bit. I was just saying that I failed to write almost like 4 times, even though chat can see it. It's Janeb. Neb, if you're watching, I'm
Lamarck's
I
fantastic.
I failed. I don't remember what has happened for the last like hour or two. Yeah, we're live. I think. Season 24 by the standards of the time is often considered less impressive than much of the show. However, I think it seems pretty tame in comparison to recent sins. Chibnall, Christian Monroe, my least favorite Doctor Who seasons. Jeb just snored again, because obviously he fell asleep. Because why wouldn't he? I mean, I called it even when I was sober. I could tell that he sucks. But yeah, I'm not gonna sing. Come running home to you. I'm not gonna sing it again, Naira. If you want to see that, you can see me doing it sober. I'm on the verge of passing out. Even though yeah, how close I am to just passing out. Was that saying something? I think they were Zod. Didn't interrupt you.
No, I was done. I'm good.
Oh, that's good. I don't like when I interrupt people, even though it happens sometimes. I'm almost just done with my third drink. Season 24. I read that.
You did read that.
Is there something I forgot? I think I forgot something. Hold on. This is 10. Did I forget something? Do you think?
I don't
Just
think you
do you
forgot
think?
anything, to be honest.
Oh, okay. Then I don't know if I can trust Tin's memory, but I will, because I can't trust myself right now. So okay. Jab is asleep, which is a big mistake on his part. Cause I'm sorry, but like he should be the one controlling me. 'Cause I can't
Yeah.
I can't control myself.
I think we've covered just about everything.
So yeah, I think Guardians is gonna be good, and I'm hopeful. I like all the characters, and I think James Gunn is good. So I doubt he's gonna be. I doubt he's gonna be. I doubt he's gonna do bad. I said I would sing. I don't. Did I promise any song I would sing, or did I just say I would sing like in general by the end of the stream? Because if it's just in general, I think I would. I'm just gonna pick an Arctic Monkey song. So if I didn't promise a song, I like Arctic Monkeys, so that's what I'm gonna do. So Zod, did I promise any particular song?
No, but Neb's very insistent on the Cleveland Show theme song.
I've actually never watched the Cleveland show song, and Zod, no, it's not Zod. Jab is snoring, which is pretty dumb if you ask me. I'm not snoring, and I'm half dead, so I'm gonna do an Arctic Monkey song. I don't know which one yet. Hold on, I'm gonna take a last sip because I'm gonna finish my drink. I finished my drink while I heard Jab snoring. All right, so I'm singing right now. I'm not gonna do one point perspective again, because I did that in the recording that I sent y'all before stream. Jeb, was that a sound of you being awake, or was that a sound of you being cringe? That means cringe. That's fine. Okay. Tell me a number from 1 to 10. 10. Yeah.
Driving home to what?
A number from 1 to 10.
I thought you said driving home to 10.
I'm not driving home to 10. I'm not
Just
very
pick the number.
I'm not attracted to you personally. I'm sure a lot of people are, but I'm not. So that's not right. Why am I just 1 to 10? 10. Just say a number.
12?
What did you 12? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Oh.
I don't think that's between 1 and 10.
Fine,
But
7.
7. Okay, that doesn't really mean anything because I didn't assign a number to anything. I thought you would say 13 because 2013 is an Arctic Monkey song, but it's okay. I'm gonna do Crying Lightning. Is that okay? Because it's my favorite song, Crying Lightning. Lyrics. If I were sober, I would remember all the lyrics. So just know that, right? Because I need people to know that I can remember the lyrics of a very, very difficult song if I'm sober, but I'm not right now. So yeah. But anyway, this is "Crying Lightning" by the Arctic Monkeys, written by Alex Turner, because he writes most of the Arctic Monkey songs. So this is the end of ECUM 59, and as Nev said, I'm definitely gonna regret not doing this stream properly, but it doesn't matter because I don't care right now. So anyway. I'm out of breath. Hold on, let me catch my breath. Okay, now I'm good. Outside the cafe by the cracker factory, you were practicing your magic trick. And my thoughts got rude as you talked and chewed on the last of your pecan mix. Said you're mistaken if you're thinking that I haven't been cockroached before. As you bit into your strawberry leaves, and then I'm flicking your attention in the form of a gobstopper, and is all you had left, and it was going to waste. My mic almost fell off my hand right now. Your pastimes consisted of the strange, the twisted, and the deranged, and I love that little game you had called Crying Lightning, and how you like to aggravate the icky man on rainy afternoons, uninvited. But not as impossible as everyone assumes you are. Crying lightning. I genuinely have no idea where any of the lyrics. Hold on. Rainy afternoon. The next time that I caught my own reflection, it was on its way to meet you, thinking of excuses to postpone. You never look like yourself from the side, but your profile couldn't hide the fact you knew I was approaching your throne. With folded arms, you occupy a bench like too thick. Stood and puffed your chest stout. Stood and puffed your chest out like you never lost a war. And though I tried so not to suffer the indignity of reaction, there was no crack to grasp or gaps to claw, and your pastimes consisted of the strange to the twisted and deranged, and I hate that little game you had called Crying Lightning, And how you like to aggravate the man on rainy afternoons. Uninvited, but not as possible as everyone assumes you are. I almost just dropped my microphone. A crying lightning. I didn't know it was like a very good like instrumental bit, but I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna sing past it because I can't do the instrumental with my voice. And your pastimes consisted of the strange. Jeff just snored very loudly. It is twisted at the range. And I hate that little game you had called Crying Lightning. Crying Lightning. Crying lightning, yo. Pastimes consisted of the strange, the twisted, and the range. And I hate that little game you had called Crying. That was Crying Lightning by the Arctic Monkeys, written by Alex Turner. Thank you very much for the clapping, Naira. I appreciate it. This is my favorite Arctic Monkey song, and it is good. I don't know if I did it justice, but I like it. So that's good enough for me personally. My next Arctic Monkey song is.
Oh god.
Oh, you thought I would do it only one song, didn't you? Well, I'm drunk, so I won't stop myself. I don't remember. I need to. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna need reminder of Arctic Monkeys songs. Hold on a sec. Sure, Teddy Baker is fine. Thank you, Google, for recommending. Okay. Alright. Holy shit, my foot feels like it fell asleep, but it's fine. Don't worry about it, Zod. I know you were worried, but you're not anymore because I mentioned you personally. So anyway, they've sped up to the point where they provoke the punchline before they have told the joke. Plenty of desperation to be seen, staring at the television screen. They've sped up to the point where they provoke you to tell the fucking punchline before you have told the joke. We're sorry, sunshine, it doesn't exist. It wasn't in the top 100 list, and it's the 1,000th time, and it's even bolder. Don't be surprised when you get bent over. They told ya, but you were dying for it. So damn, how the fuck am I gonna sing it fast? Okay. You were dying for it. Saw it, and they grabbed. Saw it, and she grabbed it, and it wasn't what it seemed. The kids all dream of making whatever that means. Another variation of a theme, and tango on the television and the magazine. Do you reckon that they do it for a joke? Do you reckon that they're making thick enough? It says that we are the defenders of any poser or professional pretender around. When they jolist, replace the twist and turn like a fist. Replace the replace the kiss on concerness with your bollocks. I don't want your prayer. Save it for the morning after. And it's the 1,000th time that it's even bolder. Don't be surprised when you has bent over. They told you, but you were gagging for it. Let's have a game on the teddy picker. Not quick enough. Can I have it quicker? Already thick. Can you get it thicker? I was gonna have it. Oh dear lord, my diction really is out the window when I'm drunk. Anyway, let's. Not quick enough. Can I have it quicker? already thinking you're getting thick. Presuming that all things are equal, who'd want to be man of the people when there's people like you? Bah. And the pun means like a very good, very well done, like kind of guitar and drums ending. You know what I'm saying? You do 10. You listen to the Killers. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what you listen to. So I think your music taste is just non-existent because I've never seen you talk about music other than earlier in the stream when you mentioned Bear McCreary when it was relating to God of War Ragnarok. So other than that, I don't. You should listen to rock and punk, because that's. Oh man, I really like Arctic Monkeys. But so, what do you like music wise? Do you like Arctic? You should like Arctic Monkeys. I went to a show of them like a month ago, yeah, it's pretty much a month ago. Anyways, what do you like music wise? I'm curious. I don't think I've ever asked you this question personally. So what do you think about music? What's your music taste?
Uh, I just, I don't know. I don't really listen to like particular bands or singers or anything. I'm just like, I just listen
Yeah,
to
you suck.
whatever
That's
I'm-
fine. I'm gonna sing Mr. Brightside right now, and that's gonna be the end. That's the encore. All right. I 10 appreciates it, and Naira is in chat, so that's all I need for my life. I think I've derailed this. I got Guardians of the Galaxy stream, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. Coming now, but no, hold on. I already got it wrong. It's not by cage, it's my cage. Coming out of my cage, and I've been doing just fine. Gotta be down because I want it all. Started out with a kiss. How did it end? No, how did it end up like this? It was only a kiss. It was only a kiss. Now I'm falling asleep, and she's calling a cab while she's having a smoke, and she's taking. I muted myself. Did I mute? I didn't. It's my microphone's too red. She's he's having a smoke, and she's taking a drag. Sorry about the burp. And now they're going to bed, and my stomach is sick, and it's all in my head. But she's starting his jazz. And he takes off her dress. Now, let me go. And I just can't look. It's killing me and taking control. Oh my god! I just dropped my glass. Hold on, give me a sec, 10. I'll be back with you shortly. I apologize for disrupting Mr. Brightside. Okay, I'm back. Jealousy turning saints into the sea, swimming through sick lullabies, choking on your alibis. But it's just the price I pay. Destiny is calling me. Open up my eager eyes, 'cause I'm Mr. Brightside. And there's a very good there's a really good this is a really good instrumental bit here, and then he goes back to, I'm coming out of my cage and I've been doing just fine. Gotta be down because I want it all. Started out with a kiss. How did it end up like this? It was only a kiss. It was only a kiss. Now I'm falling asleep, and she's calling a cab. Oh, he's having a smoke, and she's taking a drag. What? I don't. What's the next? Oh yeah, now they're going to bed, and my stomach is sick, and it's all in my head. But she's touching his chest now. He takes off her dress now. Let me go, 'cause I just can't look. It's killing me and taking control. Jealousy turning saints into the sea, swimming through sick lullabies, choking on your alibi. but it's just the price I pay. Destiny is calling me. Open up my eager eyes, 'cause I miss her bright side. And then he says, I never a few times. Wow, the backup singers sing some of the lyrics, but I can't do that because I don't have backup singers. Austin does it, but I'm not. I don't think I have the coordination to coordinate that properly. So that was Mr. Brightside by The Killers, written by Brendan Flowers, Dave Brent Kuning, Mark August Stormer, and Ronnie Jr. Vanucci. So that is what I just signed. Thank you very much, chat. I appreciate the claps. That's applause. The word is applause for Naira. Thank you very much. I should end the stream, but I feel like singing another song, so let's do an encore, okay? Let me click on Brave. Hold on a sec. 10. Say a letter from the alphabet. A to Z.
G.
It doesn't matter because I want to sing Arabella, so that doesn't matter. Lyrics. Oh, fucking, I hate you, Google. I press right click by accident. Alright. Alright, this is Arabella. To end the stream off, I'm sorry, Tin ends up for being here. I'm sorry, Jeb, that you're snoring, because that's funny. But anyway, let me catch my breath. Jeb's snoring is funny. That's funny. My God, Jeb, how loud are you? Jeb, wake up! Did he wake up? He did not. Okay, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Arabella's got something to... Jeb's snoring is gonna distract me. Anyway, Arabella's got some alligator skin boots and a helter skelter when her little finger and ride it and a helter skelter around the little finger and ride it endlessly. She's got a Barbarella silver swimsuit, and when she needs to shelter from reality, she takes a dip in my daydream. My days are best when the sunset gets itself behind that little lady sitting on the passenger side. It's much less picturesque without her catching the light. The horizon tries, but it's just not as kind of the eyes. Arabella, oh, Arabella, just might have tapped into your mind, and so you can be sure. I want before I finish singing the song, I really like this verse. My days are best when the sunset gets itself behind that little lady sitting on the passenger side. It's much less picturesque without her catching the light. The horizon tries, but it's not as kind of the eye. It's just such a beautiful way to tell that a woman is beautiful. Like, doesn't it sound super poetic? Anyway, Arabella's got a 70s head, but she's a modern lover. It's an exploration. She's made of outer space, and her lips are like the galaxy's edge. And I kiss the color of a constellation of a constellation falling into place. Did someone say something in chat? It's time to stop. Someone said that I genuinely cannot read the next chat. Holds up giant clock. Oh yeah, it's the what's his name? That dude that was super offensive, but became Joji. What's his name? Come on, Tin, you know it.
not quite sure.
You know the dude that was like super. He made a lot of videos, but then he became a musician, like a professional musician, and he became Joji. What's his name? It's Filthy Frank. Filthy Frank. That's the joke.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, I remember. Alright. And a kiss the color of a constellation falling into place. But my dude's and best when the sunset gets itself behind. That little lady sitting on the basin just sighed. It's much less picturesque without a catching the light. The horizon tries, but it's just not as kind on the eyes. Is there a bella? Oh, is there a bella? Just might have tapped into your mind and soul. You can be sure. That's magic in a cheetah print coat, just a slip underneath it. I hope asking if I can have one of those organic cigarettes the cheese smokes, wraps her lips round the Mexican coat, makes you wish that you were the bottle, takes a sip of your soul, and it sounds like I just might have tapped into your mind and soul. You can be sure. Would like to play. What? Oh, these lyrics are wrong. Just might have tapped into your mind and soul. You can be sure. Banner. So you know the funny thing is, because I feel like singing more, and if you and any of you had the control over the ECUM channel, you could just click on stop stream, end stream. Sorry, I got it wrong, but you can't. So you're all trapped with me. So okay, I promise this is my last song. Okay, I promise. If I don't keep my word, any of you are welcome to get me suspended on Twitter. I don't know how you're gonna do it, but you can suspend me on Twitter. I've probably said shitty things that could get me suspended, and I've had my account for like 13 years, so like that would suck. So I'm gonna do a thing. Okay, I promise this is the last song. Okay. I'm having trouble just sitting up so that I can search the last song, but I'm gonna do it. Hold on. Okay, my mic is on my desk. I've sat back on my chair. I've slid forward to my desk, and I don't remember the name of the song. Hold on. It's a fucking Arctic Monkeys single. Hold on, I'm gonna Arctic Monk. No, that's not an O. Hold on. Oh my god, I can't type. Monkey. I'm nowhere. We're still alive. Single. What's the name? No, it's not. There better be mirror. Hold on. Best selling sing. Is it the? That's not. I don't. I don't want. Do I want to know? Hold on. Jeb is snoring. I'm better than Jeb. I bet. What the fuck is going on? 10. You shouldn't have said yes to a streamer. I was wrong. That's your entirely your own fault.
I thought there'd be at least some restraint, or at least you wouldn't be this drunk.
10. I literally drank two gin tonics while doing this stream. I mistyped single. Hold on. Oh my god! I almost broke the glass. It's empty now, so there's no point in breaking it. Hold on, give me a sec. Singles, I bet. This another song. Hold on, my propeller. This is another one. Hellcat, Spangled Cello. This is a good one, but it's not right. There's another one. None of the ones. Hold on, give me a sec. I want to be yours. I remembered it, and I hope you're proud of me. Wanna be yours. Lyrics. Okay. No, this is not the song. Hold on. It's not. Is it? It's a single. Hold on. I'm gonna get it. Is there anyone watching? Naira, you're in chat. Hold on. Someone asked, are the other panelists still there? They're being held hostage by this. They're both. They're here. But they can't finish the stream. I can't. So I win personally. I'm so dizzy. I can't even explain. But hold on a second. Arctic Monkey. Hold on. It's a different type of song. It's not the song. Most people don't like the song. Actually, did you know that? Personally, people don't like this Arctic Monkey song because I think it's true poppy. You know what I'm saying? Like as in pop song, but so it doesn't fit with the Arctic Monkey style. I disagree. I think it's a very good song, but people are cringe. So it happens. Hold on a sec. I'm gonna get. This is another song. There's another song. That's not the song. Why would it? Someone from college just messaged me. Isn't that funny? Imagine someone from college thinking, "Hey, she's on top of thing. She's not drunk." Anyway, I hope the both of you are still at least awake. At least, cause if you're not, this could go very wrong. But I swear this is the last song. Just remind me when I'm done. All right. I promise you. I'm gonna click to finish streaming after this. Is the one the sun goes down? It's not. Hold on. I'm almost there. No, that's not the one. The fuck are Arctic Monkeys is a good EP though. Leave you for the night's Baby I'm Yours. That's the song. See, I knew. I almost got the title. Baby I'm Yours is a lyric. That's not Baby Grow. That's not. Oh man, fucking Google. I swear to God, Baby I'm Yours lyrics. All right. Ooh, I'm so dizzy. I genuinely cannot say what's the right setup. But anyway, I'm probably gonna guess to take my HRT tonight, but it's fine. It's like one time in like 3 months, so it's probably not as bad. Anyway, I don't remember the way the song goes, but I'm gonna remember it halfway through. Baby, I'm yours, and I'll be yours until the stars fall from the sky. Yours until the rivers all run dry. And I genuinely don't remember the way the song goes. Hold on, I'm gonna mute you all so I don't get copyright struck. Which is funny because if I remember that, I should remember to finish the stream. But I'm not. I don't. I have the judgment to not ruin our channel, but I don't have the judgment to stop. Baby, I'm yours. Baby, I'm yours. And I'll be yours until the stars fall from the sky. I'm yours until the rivers all run dry. In other words, until I die. I don't remember how this goes, but I'm just gonna jump to the next verse, right? Oh, good. Baby, I'm yours. Baby, I'm yours. And I'll be yours until the sun no longer shines. I'm yours until the poets run out of rhymes. I'm in other words, until the end of time. I'm gonna stay right here by your side and do my best to keep you satisfied. Nothing in the world could drive me away. Every day you hear me say, baby, I'm yours. Baby, I'm yours. And I'll be yours. And two and two is three. Yours. Yours until the mountain covers into the mountain covers to the sea. In all the words until eternity. Okay, baby, I'm yours. Baby, I'm yours. Until the stars from the sky. Baby, I'm yours. Till the rivers all run dry. Baby, I'm yours. Until the sun no longer shines. I don't. This last verse seems like something for someone who remembers how the song goes. I clearly don't. So anyway, I think I'm done. Jeb left the call. What a fucking faggot. I've Okay, people watching, I'm genuinely very sorry. We talked about Guardians 3, I think. Did we? 10, tell me. Did we?
We did for like a few hours, and then next thing you know, it turned into karaoke.
Well, that's good enough. If it's 2 hours of the topic and 1 hour of me singing, that's better than nothing. I feel like puking right now, but I'm not gonna puke on my microphone. Don't you worry, guys. I gotcha. Anyway, I'm gonna end the stream now. Tin and Zod. Do either of you have anything you want to say to chat? Maybe you want to talk about Guardians 3 some more. But I just interrupted you by singing Arctic Monkey songs because that's just how my brain works.
I think I'm good.
I made
All
you
I want to
each
say
their
to
own.
Jay is,
Look,
all I want to say to Jay is, I'm very sorry.
I think ECUM 60 will probably probably consist of me apologizing, but I don't care right now because I can apologize after the fact, not during it, because I've no fault in what's happening right now, even though I have entirely 100% of the fault because I made the rules for the drinking game with Madvicket, but you'll all see that in months from now, so you won't remember that I was drunk. Plus, Chap fell asleep before I ruined the so it's more his fault than mine, really. Like I'm just a victim of circumstance. Someone messaged me. Hold on. Oh, that was about college. Don't worry, it wasn't my mom. It wasn't her saying like, "Hey, you're too drunk. Just stop." But it was a classmate being like, "Hey, I wonder about this thing that's due tomorrow, and I'm just too drunk to answer her." I win. Anyway, chat. I'm not racist. Good for you, Moon of the Dead. If you're not racist, you're a good person. If you are racist, you're not. That's a very simple rule of life. I really need to pee. I don't think you guys understand how much I need to pee. But man, I feel like I'm gonna regret this tomorrow. How shitty I was right now. If Neb is watching, I hope it was fun, Neb. I like you, Neb. You're fun. You're my friend. Yeah, I like Neb, but don't tell him because he will let it go to his head. And he'll feel like he's more special than he actually is. Not that he's not special, but he's fun. But he will hold this over me for hours. So just don't tell him, all right? I can hold things over other people. People can't hold things over me. Speaking in English when I'm drunk is really hard because it's not my first language. Despite the fact that I think in English. Zod, why have you let me go speak for this long? I feel like the stream is like an hour longer than it should be in terms of like how drunk I am. And it's all your fault, Zod. Entirely, 100%. You could have just clicked end stream. I mean, you don't have my login information to click end stream, but still, it's your fault. You know, yeah. I drank way too much. And Jeb fell asleep, so there's no one to hold me back by this point. I'm just saying things. So I'm gonna click stop streaming on OBS, okay? Zon and Tim, do you have any parting thoughts?
We've done that.
Have you really? I swear you haven't. Why would I say that before I click end stream? That feels out of character. I would never do something out of character when I'm drunk. Y'all have no answer, so it just means you're inconsistently written. Guardians of the Galaxy is better than both of you. Which is just, it's true, because James Gunn wrote Guardians of the Galaxy, you wrote yourselves, and you both cringe, so that's fair. I really need to pee, and I need to go to sleep, so I'm gonna click stop streaming. Chat, if you feel like I've ruined ECUM, fuck you, but also I'm sorry. Chat, if you feel like I haven't ruined ECUM, but you want to watch this next time we stream, see you till next week. Though probably not next week because I'm busy with college, but the other three maybe. Who knows? Yeah. So see ya. Till now. To that. Tin is say goodbye.
Bye bye.
Goodbye.
I'm gonna click stop streaming on OBS now. Chat. If you miss us, it's Zod and Tin's fault. They didn't let me sing for long enough, even though I stopped myself.